On them back roads where the alligators crawl in the swampland, we ain't worried about no law. You can find me in the woods with my dogs under pine trees in the land of the lost.
I've been drinking on this whiskey, got my head up in the clouds, and if this world keep fucking with me, I ain't never coming down. So fuck this mask and all this trash that y'all keep trying to spread around. Tip your glass or kiss my ass, but I ain't dealing with you clowns.
Bless them all, land of the lost. God bless them all, land of the lost. I was raised in the country, and I paid all my dues. I was made in the country, and I won't change just for you. The place I call my home is deep out in the woods. If you don't belong, you better keep about these woods. Like my trucks are loud and my car's real fast, and I love the sound of a shotgun blast. Come around acting all big and bad, then Mr. Postman, that's gonna be your ass. Now I pray to the Lord if trouble stays the hell away from us. But just in case one day it comes, I'm not afraid, I got 'em loaded up. It's in my blood, it's in my roots, I keep it real down to my boots. And they hate to see me winning, cause they say I'm born to lose. Might be true, but I ain't losing, I ain't making no excuses. In the land of the lost, you gotta keep it moving. On them back roads where the alligators crawl in the swampland, we ain't worried about no law. You can find me in the woods with my dogs under pine trees in the land of the lost.
I've been drinking on this whiskey, got my head up in the clouds, and if this world keep fucking with me, I ain't never coming down. So fuck this mask and all this trash that y'all keep trying to...
Good evening and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. I'm Steve McMillan along with Mr. Bryce here tonight. Me and Bryce Hunter getting to call the action, and you know, we're kind of lucky, Bryce. I mean, I'm kind of lucky. I mean, you might want to be out there for race for 1,000 to win tonight. I'm not sure, but we'll talk about your chances to win 1,000 a little bit later on. But Bryce, go ahead and tell everybody about tonight.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bryce Hunter. I'm a actual racer here in Bluegrass, but tonight I'm commentating along with Steve. But tonight there's basically it's a money race, $1,000 payout win for the feature. It's basically tonight what's going to happen is going to be qualifying, a heat race, or the action shootout, and the feature. So the top 20 in qualifying tonight will move straight into the feature. They do not have to race tonight in that shootout. Whoever does not qualify in the top 20, basically anyone who does not, will get moved into a action shootout, 15-lap race. Cautions do not count. The winner of that race gets $25, and the top 20 from that league or from that race move into the main event to meet the other 20 for the $1,000. Steve.
Well, that's a lot to comprehend. Hope you paid attention for the pop quiz a little bit later on tonight when we get there. But we got about a minute and 42 seconds left. And, you know, talking about tonight, we're at Daytona, 1,000 to win, Ford Trucks. It's a fixed race. But tomorrow night at Cedar Lake, the bluegrass.
Is it Cedar Lake or is it Peevely?
Oh, it's Peevely. My bad. Peevely. Anyway, I'm not racing.
I'm practicing the wrong track here, Steve.
Right. Another 1,000 to win tomorrow night with the bluegrass for the Super Late Models. Is an open setup. Like I said, 1,000 to win. Bryce is actually going to drop my house car. You know, I mean, very sentimental. I mean, he might win that $1,000 for having my stuff on there. Who knows?
Man, I'm hoping. But man, running some laps today and stuff like that. And I'm getting better. You know, every lap is getting a little bit quicker, and so tomorrow, you know, practice makes perfect, and hopefully, you know, practicing and stuff like that gets me up there. But yeah, I appreciate for Steve letting me drive his house car, and hopefully brings me some good luck.
Hopefully so. You know, I've been teasing them all week. Last week that was done in 1908. The last time that sucker was raced. So bringing it out of retirement, let someone else drive it, let them have a little bit better luck than me. How about that? But tonight, don't forget, Daytona, 100 laps, 1,000 to the winner. And we're fixed to go qualifying here in around about 17 seconds, Bryce.
Yes, we are. As a reminder, guys, the top 20 in qualifying is going to move on straight to the future. So this is going to incentivize qualifying, because, you know, people who do this on the sim, they know if they're a super speedway race, they don't want to qualify for obvious reasons of getting involved into the big ones. And people don't qualify. They start in the back. And usually people are always involved in the big ones anyways. So this is going to incentivize people to qualify, and hopefully, you know, don't have to miss another, you know, they don't have to get in this other race and risk messing up their equipment. And also, there is no fast repairs tonight. So if you're wrecked, you're done.
Well, BJ Bear, make sure you brought extra clean underwear.
Oh, yeah.
And he better be, you know, fast tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yes. He was quick in practice, so we'll see. We'll see how he ends up. We're going to have a lot of trucks here on the track to start out. I don't expect anyone to wait. You know, we got 5-minute qualifying session here, so a lot of drivers going to come on track immediately. Here, Steve.
Well, first, right now on the screen, truck number 45, Eddie Hawks from Sanford, Florida, here tonight. Also on the track in the 88 machine, it's Adam Lancaster from Mooresville, North Carolina. Also heading onto the track, truck number 72 from Fernley, Nevada. It's Tony Iverson, and you know what? He says he wants to go fast here.
It's weird not seeing him in that Futurama scheme.
Definitely. Also heading on track, truck number 39 is Stephen Miles. Stephen Miles in truck number 39. And I'm going to tell you, the board is lit up with all these drivers. Also coming on track right now in truck number 32. Well, he's riding a horse. You can see it in his picture. It's BJ Duvall. Justin Rideout in the 40.
There's a lot of newcomer here tonight, Steve, so I'm really curious to see if any of our bluegrass regulars are going to catch a break or not.
Definitely Scott Fritz from Leonardtown coming onto the track right now.
That's a lot of teams.
That is. I mean, the scoreboard is all lit up. We're just waiting for him to start making the first time lap here. There's Adam Lancaster down that long back straightaway. Look at Tyler Berry top the charts. But look at Hawk. He goes up to quick time with a 52.56 for his first time lap. And there is PJ Literal.
Boy, here they come.
Yes, it is. He goes quick time momentarily. Brian Marvel goes second quick. Ian Martin now top the charts. Ian Martin in 98. CJ Mason goes second quickest right now. Look at Brandon Zimmerman in the 49 truck. Goes to the top, but not for long. Nate Maurer and then Justin Rideout goes to the top with a 52.27. 28 drivers have put in their first time lap. Make it 30 now.
Remember, guys, top 20 in qualifying move on straight to the feature. So this is going to be extremely competitive qualifying here.
Doug Newbegin up to the top. Cedric Hunter, Keith Hackney, your top 3 right now. Now Garrett Pitt goes quick time into 44.
And Steve, what you're going to see here, people will run the high line here to create that on their first lap, to create that huge momentum coming on the front stretch. And as soon as they start their second lap, that's when they get down the bottom, hold that wheel as straight as they possibly can. Because the more you wiggle around, the slower you're going to scrub your speed. So keep that wheel straight, run that yellow line, and you'll get back into the 20th place.
Well, right now, BJ Duvall is currently in 35th position. Not a qualified lap he would do. But Garrett Pick atop the charts with a 52.18.
All of these drivers in the top 20 are separated by less than a tenth of a second. This is absolutely crazy here, Steve.
Matthew Baker goes second quick. With Richmond Rittner second. Actually, Gary Pick atop the charts with a 52.18.
The top 3 right now are all sitting at 52.18. So, yeah, this is going to be... I mean, there is... Between 8th and 13th are all tied for the same time. Same thing with 14th through 16th. And then 17th through 19th are all the same times as well. So, basically, I mean, Nick Mills looks like he might sneak in here unless Justin Roundout has a... as we might be moving on here, as we are. So, remember, the top 20 does not have to race in this, or they will not be racing in this shootout tonight.
All right, Garrett Pick, Matthew Baker, Richmond Rittner, Doug Newbegin, and Brendan Holder, your top 5. Here is... Let's see if this will work. I think it will. Let's go. On your front row with the JWR... or JW Racing truck number 40 is Justin right out to his outside. And 89 is Matt Quick.
Starting in row number 2 on the inside, we got the 27 of Josh Clemens. On his outside, we got the 57th of Max Brady.
Row number 3 be Dustin Sluter, the Globebach Motorsports truck number 15, and Elite Motorsports truck number 88, Adam Lancaster.
Starting 7th tonight, we got the 16 of Brian Mavel. On his outside, we got the 50 of Sean
Kostritza.
Thank you.
Start on your 5th row inside the Cornerstone Motorsports truck number 17 is James Silvers, and to his outside, the Matthew Beeman driving truck number 77 is Lennon Huffman.
On the inside of row 6, we got in the 24 machine PJ Literal Jr. On the outside, we got the 67 of Jay Cohn.
Rolling off 13th be Braxton DeWeese in the Reaper Speed Last truck number 59, and Nate Maurer in the Simbox 971.
On the inside of row 8, we got the 49 of Brian Zimmerman on his outside. Starting 16th, we got Matt Lee.
Rolling off 17th, be Jordan Darnell. In the 47, and Trevor Ainsworth? How do you say that? How do you think to say it?
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm sorry, Trevor. On the inside of row 10, we got the 76 of Brad Neer on his outside. We got the 41 of C. Bowen.
Rode up 21st, be Mo Abbott, the Color Teal Racing, truck number 48, and RS Centers in the truck number 3.
On the inside, we got Sean Powers in the 2 machine. On his outside, we got Jason Mans in the 30.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's not what we want. Let's see here. All right, in the 30.
There we go.
Corey Whitaker will roll off 25th with Tyler Berry 26th.
27th, they got Brian Terry, 28, Robbie Richards.
29th be Stephen Miles and BJ DeVault is outside in the 32.
Starting 31st, we got Denny Exwilman in the 43 machines. Outside, we got 32 of Dalton McKinney.
Then we have Josh Lockwood and Ethan Johnson rolling off 34th.
Justin Winters in the 9 machine. And is on the outside of him, we got Ron Morris Jr. in the 58, starting 36th.
All right, that should be your starting lineup for... No, we got some more. How about that? Travis Twitty rolling off 37th, and Zach Nichols 38th. And round out your field is Dylan Butler.
And that is your starting lineup for tonight. Action shootout. Remember, tonight, the first driver to cross the finish line here in this heat race, well, the shootout, will get $25 extra on top with the potential of winning $1,000 here, Steve.
Awesome night to gather some cash, that's for sure. As these trucks, the pace car, is bringing them down the front straightaway. Barney, the iRacing flagman, is looking them over. The pace car pulling to the inside. Going down pit road. Justin Rideout and Matt Quick. Green flag is waving here at Daytona. Right now, they're side by side, Quick and Rideout, as they go down the front straightaway into turn number 1. A little ahead of myself, but looking back quick, goes directly to the bottom in turn number 1 there. The 57 on the outside, that is Max Brady. Justin Rideout in that third spot in the 40. Lancaster pushing the 57 Max Brady to the lead down the back straightaway. Look at this. Oh, the 57 got a little loose there. That's going to allow Matt Quick pulling in. Oh, my. I mean, I had to change some underwear with that little swap.
Hey, you got 15 laps to make a move here, so you got to make him where they count, man. And he did.
He definitely did that, but coming down the front, look at I think I still need to go to the bathroom after that. Give it to Max Brady with the lead at the line.
With that amazing move by the 57 to Max Brady, the outside, that would be the 88 of Adam Lancaster, now on the outside at the 57, the 46. Who's the 46? I actually lost my place on my live there. But the 46 on the outside going too wide down the backstretch. We got one car right there, right in the bottom. Maybe we got one car in the back trying to squeeze his way in on the bottom line. The bottom line is going to be the groove to be on the going in during turn number 3 on the outside. We're still too wide. God knows how it rolls back. We 88 on the outside of the 57 here on back at the 48, getting pinched down. Oh man, I don't know how you guys do this. Coming down the front straightaway, we got the 88 of Adam Lancaster and the 57 of Max Brady hitting the line for lap number 3.
Max Brady leads that lap. Adam Lancaster on the outside, 2 laps down, 13 to go. They're still side by side as they go into turn number 1. Good racing up front, 2 by 2. And you got to know, if you're sitting in that 20th, 21st, 22nd place, you're going to have to make a move at some point to set yourself free to make it to the main event tonight. But we're still too wide down the back straightaway. And let me tell you something, Adam Lancaster coming on strong on the outside, but Brady pulls alongside him down into turn number 3. Brady now with a little bit of a run with the help of the 89 of Matt Quick as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. They're still 2 by 2. They're still searching down there in the back. Somebody is going to collect $100. I better watch how I say this. $1,000 tonight.
And they collect the $1,000. You have to get through this race tonight. The top 20 on this race does move into the future tonight. As the 88 and the 57 still continue to battle it out. 2 wide, Huron all the way back to the final spot. Man, this race is getting intense. The further we get down to the final laps, this race is going to get even more crazy. So we got the 57 pulling a 1 truck length gap on the outside lane of the 88 of Adam Lancaster diving into turn number 3. The 88 on the outside is now dropping back 2 positions of it looks like the 89 of Matt Quick now might be able to clear the Adam Lancaster machine on the outside as it's coming down the front straightaway here. The 87 machine, or the 57 machine of Max Brady will lead this lap.
Brady pulled out just a tad bit with Matt Quick in his hip pocket. As they go into turn number 1, look at the 88. Lancaster pulls alongside of Brady. We're on lap number 11 of 15. The 46. Let's see, that's Sean Kustritza there in the 46. He shows 50 on the score tower. Giving Adam Lancaster some good pushing there by these two as they go into turn number 3. Still side by side. We're going to look a little further back The bubble position, 20th spot right now, goes to Jason Maines. BJ Duvall's currently in that 21st position. I take that back. Now he's up to 20th.
Yeah, these drivers, as they get closer down to the end of this shootout race, that 20th position is going to be the battle to watch here, Steve. Those drivers are going to take whatever they can, whatever gaps will show up, and it's going to be interesting as we got maybe the 20 car taking it 3 wide there as it gets back in line, going 2 wide all the way back to almost row, was it 25, 26? So, man, this is racing. It's getting intense, Steve.
It definitely is. 10 laps to go.
Yeah. Man, it feels like we've been on this already. We still got a 2 battle wide for the lead here with Adam Lancaster, the 57, and Max Brady as entering turn 3 and 4. The 46 is giving the shove to the 88. You know, Steve, it's not smart to push here in the good old turns 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's not smart. I mean, the truck gets really upset. But, man, they're going to have to start making moves here if they want to transfer this $25.
Definitely. They got to do something as they're give it to Brady at the line. But Adam Lancaster on the outside. Lancaster and Kostritza giving them a good push to get everything he got. But look at Brady, how strong he is on the inside. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. These drivers, tires are still good. Let me tell you, they're happy-go-lucky. Going back to the 20th spot there. My, oh my, BJ Duvall sits 1 spot out. Currently in that 21st position on the inside of truck number 85. But let's go over your top 5. Max Brady, Adam Lancaster, Matt Quick, Sean Kostritza, and Landon Huffman. Your top 5 here at Daytona.
This is racing getting absolutely intense there. We had a close moment with the 13 of Brian Terry. Looks like the triple-digit number. I can't tell who that make it out now. That one got really interesting there on the backstretch. One got outside, tried to force his way back in. Fortunately for everyone, God was able to get that sorted out here. As we got 8 laps to go, we still got the 88 and the 57 riding side by side going down the backstretch of the 4. We got a car down on the apron there, Steve. I can't figure who that is. That's a 971 of Nate. Man, we got problems there. We got the 48 around. 48 in the grass. Like everyone's 48's in the wall there. It's a caution will not wave. We are staying green here, Steve. That's amazing. Don't know why there's no caution there. But authorization service. So no cautions will be waving. Everyone else will be racing to the green. And the 57 and the 88 are still battling side by side, Steve.
Max Brady continues to lead Adam Lancaster in that second spot on the high side. Still 2x2 racing up front. Sean Kostritza and Matt Quick pushing those drivers. You know, these drivers are probably quite content because they're going to make it into the main event if they don't mess up. And that's one thing your top 20's trying to do. Play it safe here. Right now on the bubble, it's the 85 of BJ Duvall and the 500 of Tyler Berry. Now look at the back here. They're getting sketchy. They're getting antsy because they want to make it to the race. But look at the 500 of Tyler Berry into the outside wall there momentarily. That allows BJ Duvall to move up to that 20th spot on the inside. Brian Terry making it 3 wide. I don't know, but you got to do something. I need more than a change of underwear. I need like 3 or 4.
Man, as we're 3 wide for the cutoff position right here. The 13th is forcing the issue there on the 500 on the backstretch. Got the 500 out squarely. Oh, we got trouble on the backstretch, or going to turn number 1. That's the big one.
Justin Winters involved in that number 9 machine. Let's take a look at this replay. Justin Winters. Oh, the 76 just came down. Leave a little bit of contact there.
It's like the 41 might have started to force the issue here, going 3 wide. With 5 laps to go, got clipped. Oh man, it's like he came up the track and clipped the 76, which ended up clipping the 9 and sending the 9 straight in the wall, Chase Elliott style. Oh no, he did spin out, so he didn't go head first into the wall, but still hurts if you're in real life.
Yeah, it does. So, let's watch this one more time. Let's. Oh, maybe not. Let's see here. The 76 there. Look at the 40, the 41. You see him go up just a tad bit. I mean, I don't know if he made contact. I mean, let's rewind just a tad bit.
It kind of looks like netcode, to be honest with you, from this angle.
But if you look, I mean, could he just take an air off the spoiler and around he went?
That could be a possibility, but it looks like that's just mainly netcode right there. So, I mean, I still see, man, it's real close to tell. I don't really think you can take the air off the spoiler here at Daytona because the spoilers are just so big. But man, if it's a mile and a half or whatever, yeah, absolutely took the air off the spoiler. But it just looks like neither netcode issue or slight contact. And when you go around sideways like that on super speedway, you're along for the ride. There's nothing you can do at that point.
Definitely not. We're back to the live pictures here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Make sure to hit that like and follow button. Share out the broadcast. Get your family, friends together. You know, one thing we talked about, I don't know if you were here, you know, on Thursday nights is the dirt side stuff. Normally,
Correct.
except for tomorrow night, which the Super Late Malls be racing at Featherlight Speedway. Featherlight. So, for almost another 100,000 to win. 1,000 to win.
Damn, 100,000 to win. All right.
I don't know where the 100,000's come from, but I mean, it's definitely on my tip of my tongue.
Right.
But those drivers get to come out and show out their stuff normally on Thursday nights, but we're playing it tomorrow night on a Wednesday. And I gotta say this, well, we got lights are out. We'll continue this conversation either next caution or next break. How about that?
Sounds good to me, Steve.
All right, as they double up down the back straightaway, Max Brady and Adam Lancaster to his outside. Row number 2 be Matt Quick and Sean Kostritza. Lyndon Huffman and Justin Rideout. On outside of row number 3, Jay Kuhn and Josh Clemens. In row number 4, Braxton Deweese and Dustin Sluter. And row number 5.
Yeah, we are now 5 laps to go, Steve. This restart and this racing the rest of this way are going to be absolutely insane. Remember, there's $25 in line for the winner, and the top 20 move on to the feature. So expect Harvey Racing for the front spot, and expect Harvey Racing for that cutoff. Everyone else in between is ride.
All right, well, they're going to pick their ride and die partner because the pace car is pulling to the infield. Down pit road. The field's in the hands of Max Brady there. Green flag is out. Barney waving that green flag as we head down the front straightaway. Look out, the 85 dropping back pretty quick. Looking back quick. And Max Brady there. Pull it up. That inside line seemed to have got a good start there. Look at the 77 of Huffman. He has the 88 cleared. As they come out of turn number 2, down the long back straightaway, Huffman makes a defensive move there. Watch out, young man. You don't want to ruin your chances for a grand. As they head down the back straightaway. Right now, Bowen is in the final transfer spot, battling with Tyler Berry. Berry in the 500 to the inside. A little bit of damage on that truck, but should be okay. As we come down the front straightaway here, look at Matt Quick giving Brady a push, but look at Huffman on the outside. He's coming quick.
You're absolutely right, Steve. The 57 of Max Brady right now is on an amazing run. That's 77 on the outside is battling for the lead. The 77 of Landon Huffman pushed by the 88 of Adam Lancaster, now double wide all the way through on back to the field. The 88 of Adam Lancaster is pushing the heck out of the 77 to put him in front of the 57 of Max Brady. The 89 of Matt Quick behind the 57 is pushing him as well as he entered the battling into turn number 3. But man, Steve, you do not want to be touching these trucks. Oh, we got caution on the speedway.
All right.
Don't know where, but we got caution on the speedway.
Oh. Well, that flag is a waving. Barney waving a flag. You know, Barney sees things that we don't. And let's see if this is who it's for. Josh Lockwood. There it is.
Oh, wow. Big one.
Let's rewind it up here.
They were their own group, too.
Yeah. Oh, you look ahead. Look at that number 6 truck. The TikTok truck sideways gets T-boned going into turn number 1.
It's like might have been a unfortunately, it's like might have been a hardware issue. Really hard to see what exactly is going on here. That's conflicting right now going on with race control. And he did park. He did park a driver, so I'm trying to figure out who did he park.
Oh, we
did hear that over race comms.
Well, the truck right in front did come across and hit. That's the black truck come across and did hit that TikTok truck. The 4. There you go. The 4 hit the 6. Was that Matt Lee, maybe? What's kind of hard is the numbers do not match time in the score. And so it's like it's a guessing game for us, but hey, at least we caught the wreck, right? But this I do know. The 57 is out front. That's Max Brady there. Lyndon Hoffman in second. They got Matt Quick, Adam Lancaster, Jay Cohen, Sean Kostritz, Braxton DeWeese, Justin Rideout, Matt Lee, James Silvers, Josh Clemens, R.S. Sinners, Dustin Sluter, Brian Marvel, Brendan Zimmerman. Then you have Jason Maines, Trevor. Then you got PJ Literal, BJ Duvall, and Mr. Bowen there in 20th position. That's your top 20. And sitting on out and outside is the 500 of Tyler Berry, 1 spot out of transfer.
Everyone's gonna have, you remember caution laps do not count tonight. We're still at 4 to go, and more than likely, probably gonna have a green-white checkered here. So actually, we probably not necessarily. So, man, these drivers are gonna be pushing for that final position spot, Steve. Because if you're not in that 20 spot, you're gone. You're not racing tonight. So. If you don't make the top 20, thanks for your money, I guess. That's how it is. So make it into that 20. Make sure you get in that feature for fight and battle, because that feature is going to be an amazing race, 100-lap race, long race. Get in that feature and give you a shot to win $1,000 here tonight.
Oh, wow. So just looking at the thing, so they said Ethan Johnson is the ones they were in question for the intentional contact there.
Yeah, Ethan Johnson, I believe, has been parked. So that's it's interesting, and look forward to hearing race control on that later on this evening. So,
and I don't even see him. I don't even see him on the scoring.
No, I don't know. I don't know if he pulled down pit road or what. So. So he should be moving it to 1 to go any second now, because this race is on a time limit. We are about 9 minutes away, about 8 minutes and 30 seconds away for the session to run out of time. So he's going to be hustling these drivers around, trying to get them back to 2 wide, double foul for the restart.
Oh, there's Ethan Johnson. He's still on track there. He's currently sitting in 27th position.
Oh, there he is. He gone.
He gone.
He gone.
As soon as we clicked on his name, that's how quick he went. All right. The pace car's moving in. It's going to be a single file restart, Max, bringing us to the green.
That's interesting.
Green flag is out.
I haven't seen a green single file restart since like the early 2000s. This is interesting.
Well, it's probably because you're doing heat race. It's a heat race mode, so that's probably the reason why for this. As you look single file over your top 3, the 88 of Adam Lancaster moving to the outside.
We got huge contact in the middle of turn 1 and 2.
Caution back out.
The 500 wasn't involved. I believe it's the only car I really saw. I know the 500 was around and got hit pretty hard, so unfortunately, 46 was involved. Sliding in, the number is at 39.
All right, you're looking at the 13 to the inside. Close up on Tyler Berry. The door just shuts and around goes Berry.
You know, them two, Brian Terry and the 500 have been battling and hitting each other and banging off each other all race long. So I wonder if Brian was trying out of patience right there, or if the 500 just came down and thinking he was clear. But man, these two have been back and forth all night long, Steve.
Well, you know, you want to make it in that top 20. I mean, you're going to do anything you can to be in that top 20.
Oh, absolutely. You're trying, you're beating, banging, you're doing, whatever you can to get in that top 20.
As we look, as you see him coming down the back straightaway here, Tyler Berry in the 500 comes down. I just don't know if the 13 let off when he came down. I mean, they did go for a little ways.
It's true. That is true. It looks like it might have been the 500, thought he was clear, and obviously wasn't, because he's turned around in the fence. So, unfortunately for him, his night and race are done. He is mainly disconnected. So, the 500 is out of the race, and the 13 will continue.
There you go. Yep. I mean, this is close to call. Too close to call. How about that?
Yep, I agree with you, Steve. We got some trucks right now coming down pit road, but I expect them just to come down and get fuel. Tires are not a factor here at super speedways, so they're just going to get fuel, get back on the track, at least enough to finish the race. So there's not, you have to worry about tires until maybe into the feature you will. But now you had 15 laps. All you need is probably fuel at this point, Steve.
Well, Landon Huffman, your race leader. Matt Quick in second. There's Adam Lancaster, Braxton Deweese, Justin Rideout.
There's a bunch of black flag right now getting cleared because he changed it to 1 degree when people were still on pit road. So people are now getting exit penalties or entry penalties and stuff like that, Steve.
All right, the lights are on the pace car. 3 laps to go.
I don't know why we're not single file, but oh well.
Landon Huffman. Will bring us to the green. Pace car making that left-hand turn. Green flag is waving. We're back to racing. 2 laps to go. Next time by will be the white flag.
Yeah, absolutely. We got the 77, got a great jump on the out. Okay, they're all single file. Got a great jump with the pack. We got a big wide battle here. We got 3 wide with the 13 of Brian Terry. He's in the fence. Coming back down, clip the 48. 48's in the wall. Huge contact with the 97. That's a huge contact right there caused by the 13 and the 48, Steve.
Definitely. As they're still going around on that track. Let's see here. Mo Abbott with some heavy damage. Down the back straightaway, the 48 and the 13. They're side by side there. 13 in the middle. The 48 on the outside. Looks like the 48 comes up a tad bit. The black 48 barely makes contact with the 13, shooting him up across the wall. He hits the outside wall, comes back down, collects the other 48 of Bo Abbott, and he hits that wall head on, and then this is on for there.
Yeah, this is the big one. I guess the other ones are big ones until the other big one happens. But yeah, this is the big one of the race so far, and there's unfortunately nowhere to go for the 48 machine of Mo Abbott right there. 13 didn't kind of got psyched out with being 3 wide right there. Got a little squirmy. The 48 came up, bumped him, sent him in the wall. Unfortunately, it's like both the races are now done, which is unfortunate because Brian Terry was on a tear, and he was right on that cutoff line. He was running great.
Well, another green, white checkered here.
You got 2 minutes left in this, under 2 minutes left in the session, Steve.
Definitely. Someone said the last few laps have been a bloodbath. Yes, they are driving hard for those top 20 spots. And right now, sitting on the bubble, is Robbie Richards in that 48 truck. Currently sitting in 20th position. Sitting on the outside is Justin Winters. In number 9, currently sitting 21st. They got Corey Whitaker, Max Brady. He was your early race leader, currently sitting, I believe, in that 23rd spot. But that's going to change because more drivers are coming down pit road.
Yeah, the people are starting to realize that they cannot make it on fuel here. They have actually exceeded their, well, I guess almost exceeded. They're about to their fuel limit here. So it's fuel strategy. It's like the people who pitted earlier on the previous caution might be getting a boost here. So curious to see if and how this is going to work out, Steve.
Well, you look, Max Brady there, currently sitting. Well, he has damage in that 57 machine. As drivers are going around him. There is Landon Huffman, your race leader, Matt Quick, Adam Lancaster, Braxton Deweese, Matt Lee. James Silvers, Brian Mavel, Brandon Zimmerman, Jason Maines, Trevor Ainsworth, PJ Literal, BJ Duvall's currently 17th, Bowen in 18th, Witters in 19th.
Race Control just came over and did say they have 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the session. So he's going to want to get these drivers lined back up, go 1 to green, and get them fired off. They want to race to this finish. They don't want to coast across the finish line on the caution. So we want a clean, exciting race here, Steve, and we might be getting one here.
Well, let's see. The lights do go off on the pace car. Bring us back to the green.
Absolutely. We got, looks like the 77 of Landon Huffman will take over that top spot from the 89 behind him of Matt Quick. 88 of Adam Lancaster are all 1, 2, and 3. These drivers up front are battling for $25, but the money race tonight is $1,000, and that top 20 spot is what everyone is fighting for if you're in the middle of the pack. If you go below 20, you're done. If you're finished above 20, you're in the feature.
I think the score is going to correct itself. Right now, you see the 57 slow rolling as he's allowing the field to get by. Max Brady there. Landon Huffman, your race leader. As lights are back on the pace car.
Steve, they're wasting almost 2 minutes a lap right now, or a minute a lap. So they got to get these drivers, button back up, push cinch back together, and get these trucks rolling. We're going to run out of time the next few laps under caution.
If we go back green, since we're running heat race style, It could allow them to do the green-white checkered. I've seen it go both ways, where they allowed it or where they just cut it at the line as soon as they hit it. So we'll see. We'll go back to green. Let's look at here.
As we are delayed
40.
green one more lap.
And we got 38 seconds. 35. You see it counting down there on the side ticker.
I never thought we'd be racing caution laps on the timer here, Steve. I thought we'd be racing this thing all the way out to green.
Well, I believe, look at this, the lights are out of pace car. Can they go back to green in time? That's the question. 12 seconds to go, 10 seconds to go. That's true. Yes, the scoring was messed up. That's the reason why I was mentioned it on there. The scoring was messed up. Time has ran out. Let's see when they hit the start-finish line. Will the race be over, or will allow them to run the final 2 laps?
If I'm in that 20th spot right now, I am praying to God they end that session right here, right now.
That's Whitaker in that 20th position. Justin Winters is currently sitting 19th.
It's really interesting to see how iRacing handles this. We also know that the session did end, and we're currently waiting to see. If anyone just joined us, we're currently waiting to see as soon as they hit as the pace car does dive down to pit road here, Steve. So hopefully we stay going green here. Green's back out. The 77 of Landon Huffman gets a good jump of the 89 of Matt Quick behind him as we stay green here, Steve. We're not ending the session just yet. The 77 and the 89 start pulling away from the 88 of Adam Lancaster. Adam has no help behind him as he looks like here the 8. Well, on iRacing it's 8. On 59 of Braxton Dewey's is right behind in tow. Takes the outside lane. We're getting 2 wide here for the 5th and 6th position with the 40 and the 84. Is that 84, Steve?
I do believe that's the 84.
All right. As we got now, we're getting the battle right here, Steve.
Oh,
the 8. We got the 8 and the 84 on the outside of the 89 and the 88 of Adam Lancaster. As we're almost through, it was like we're going 3 wide right here. The leader lost that draft. Now he's stuck in the middle. As we have a new leader in the 8.
Braxton DeWeese picks up the win with Matt Lee, Matt Quick, Lyndon Huffman, James Silvers, Brian Marvel, or Naval. You got Adam Lancaster, Justin Rideout, Justin Sluter, Brandon Zimmerman, and Jason Maines, your top 11. Let's look at this real quick at your results on the board, if it will come up, because time did run out. DeWeese, Lee, Quick, Huffman, Silvers, Mayville, Lancaster, Rideout, Sluter, Zimmerman, Maine, Ainsworth, Literal, Duvall, Bowen, Clemens, Center, Richards. Let's see here. Justin Winters and Zach Nichols all transfer to the main event. And you know what time it is? It's time for your starting lineup tonight. On the front row, it's Garrett Peck. And the Matthew Beeman driving truck number 44 to the south side. NBG Motorsports car number 5, it's Matthew Baker.
In the second row tonight, we got the 87 of Raymond Rittenor. And on the outside, we got Doug Newbigging in the 7th.
Row number 3 be Brandon Holder and CJ Mason.
And we got Cedric Hunter in the 21 and Ian Martin in the 98.
Row number 5 be Jaden Kataki. Don't get me loud on saying the last name. With No Chance Motorsports car or truck number 4 to his outside, it's Scott Fritz.
On the inside of row 6, we got Ed Osborne in the 42, and his outside, we got Keith Hackney in the 69.
Jonathan Atkins rolls off 13th with Matthew Katina to his outside.
Driving the 72 machine, we got Tony Iverson on his outside. We got Corey Stahl in the 66.
Your 9th row will be Damian Kiefer in the 53 and Eddie Hawks in the 45.
Michael Lockwood starts 19th and starting 20th. We got Nick Mills in the 8.
Row number 11 will be Braxton DeWeese and Matt Lee.
Matt Quick starts 23rd, and Landon Huffman starts 24th in the 77.
25th be James Silvers and Brian Mayvolt is outside.
Adam Lancaster in the 88 starts 27th. Justin Rideout in the 40 starts 28th.
Dustin Sluter will roll off 29th and Braden Zimmerman 30th.
31st, Jason Manns. 32nd, Trevor Ainsworth in 55.
Then you got BJ Literal rolled off 33rd and BJ Duvall 34th.
Kay Bowen in the 41 machine starts 35th, and Josh Clemens in the 27th starts 36th.
Rolled off 37th, the RS Sitters and Robbie Richards is outside.
Justin Winter starting 39th, and 40th we got Zach Nichols in the 25.
41st be Nate Maurer in the 971 to his outside. Sean Kostritza in the 50.
Corey Whitaker in the 6 starting 43rd, and 44 we got Jordan Darnell in the 47.
Is there really that many cars out there? Sure not.
Yep.
No, we only have 38. No, we have 42. Okay.
So how many do we have?
I think it's because the heat race style is trying to show everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on. So.
Yeah, but I only saw 41 here in my time in scoring, with Mo being the last truck in line.
Jay Cohen roll off 40th with Mo Abbott. Still kind of confused that the scoring is kind of all jacked up, but that's all right.
It happens.
I think they should start all 60 drivers in the Super Late Ball feature tomorrow night.
Oh, good. We'd be hitting lap traffic on the first lap, entering turn 1. Actually, no, before. Imagine you broadcasting that.
Hey, there would definitely be enough excitement to keep me busy, that's for sure.
Very true.
As they head down the back straightaway, the lights are still on the pace vehicle, as it looks like maybe race control is trying to maybe sort something out.
Yeah, don't know exactly what is going on. I don't know if he's going through and making the last people who didn't qualify in that heat race to leave, or because it would affect the time and scoring, that's the case, or what. I'm just looking at the chat here, and a bunch of people are getting removed from the server, so don't know exactly what's going on right here, but we got 37 trucks right now lined up and currently waiting to see what is going to happen. I believe there's only one person tonight doing race control, so
all right, the fancy lights go out of the pace car. Barney, the iRacing flagman, says, let's go. He's ready to wave the green flag. He also has that no-no stick in his hip pocket there, just in case he needs to wave it. But Garrett Pick and Matthew Baker on your front row here tonight for the Daytona 1000 to win.
And if we thought the ending of that shootout was going to be fun, this race is going to be great to watch. Great racing from start to finish, especially the last 10 laps.
Oh, yes.
We're going to see pit strategy. We're going to see people take tires, people take fuel, how much fuel they're going to take. It's all a mind game at Super Speedway, Steve.
Well, it's going to be so exciting. Your mama's going to cry at the end of this race.
She would if I won $1,000 if I was racing in it. So.
She would. She'd be very proud of you.
Yeah, she would.
So that's what you got to do tomorrow night. Make your mama proud.
No, I'm going to try. I got to make you proud first because you're my owner. So I have to.
Somebody's going to win some money tonight. Good luck to all the drivers here tonight. Definitely, we could not do this without you. 1,000 to win. Garrett Pick and Matthew Baker on that front row. The pace car coming out turn number 4. There's Barney. Hold that green flag. The pace car pulled into pit road. He's waving it. We're racing here at Daytona. 100 laps. Good start there for Garrett Pick. As they go down the front straightaway, the 5 of Matthew Baker on the outside. Getting a good run, but now they're even going into turn number 1. Now you got to wonder, these drivers, do you play it safe? Or do you go all out up front? But down the back straightaway, you're looking right now at Matthew Baker currently leading into 44, or into 5 machine. The 44 is Garrett Pick in the inside. Pick was getting pushed there by Matthew Baker. Now we got 2 5s. Now I'm really lost who I'm talking about. But I can tell you this. Coming to the line. Let's see. At the line, give it to Matthew Baker. Leading lap number 1. Garrett Pick on his inside.
Good job, Steve. Matthew Baker takes the outside here, going to turn 1 and 2. The 44 of Garrett Pick's on his inside, gets a little nose ahead of him, heading on the back shift right there. And as you saw, Steve, earlier on your lap, as we see Carter in right now, these drivers are going to want to get out of that line, especially if they're getting racy here early on, to fall back, coast, and make your final approach in the last 20 laps right here. But as we talk right now, we got the 5 of Matthew Baker on the outside here. The inside line is slowly starting to creep its way back up. The 5 is clear to pick up which lane he wants to come out of on turn 3 and 4. Coming down the front stretch, and looks like he's going to stay up high. We got the 44 of Garrett Pick on his inside. We got on the outside heading in the lines here, Steve.
Matthew Baker continues to lead in that 5 machine, getting pushed by Doug Newbigin. The 44 Garrett Pick and Brandon Holder in his hip pocket, the other number 5. Then you have CJ Mason in the 28, and Cedric Hutter in 6 in that 71 machine. As they come out turn number 2, they're still 2 by 2, around about 10 rows deep. Good class of drivers here tonight with the Bluegrass iRacing Series, the truck division. 1,000 going to the winner. Now look at Garrett Pick. Pulls to the race lead side by side with the 5 of Matthew Baker. Brendan Holder, the other 5, pushing Garrett Pick down the front straightaway. At the line, give it to Garrett Pick.
Garrett Pick retains the lead from the outside. The 5 machine of Matthew Baker is heading into turn number 1. Brandon Holder is pushing the 44 of Garrett Pick into turn number 1. And it looks like the 7 of Doug Newbigin is pushing the outside driver, the 5 of Matthew Baker, hitting turn 1 and 2. Man, Steve, here, they're driving 3 wide. I see some 3 wides. I see some 2 wide. Some single file out there in the back. You're going to start seeing these drivers start filing back out, go single file out, and trying to preserve their race. And you don't want to be a truck that loses the draft very early in this race. You want to be able to stay close to the draft, but further enough to stay out of trouble. But, man, these drivers up front right now, they're driving very clean right now. They're still 2 by 2, about 10 rows back. We got the 44 on the inside of the 5 of Garrett Pick hanging on the front stretch right now. The 44, it's like he's might be able to pull the edge here through the tri-oval. And this tri-oval is the most sketchiest place on this track, Steve. There is no grip on the tri-oval here in Talladega. There is no grip. So if you get pushed the wrong way heading in that tri-oval, you're going to go around and cause a big one.
Definitely. They're still side by side. You look at the 5. That is Matthew Baker. He got a little dancy there in 1 and 2. Doug Newbigin pushing them down the back straightaway. Look at these cars, these trucks. They look a little unstable a little bit as they're moving around. Kind of snaking there, you see them? As they're side by side going into turn number 3. Garrett Pick, the 44, continues to lead. The 5, I believe that's Brandon Holder, continuing to push. But look at Matthew Baker on outside the 5 machine. But come down tri-oval, give it to Garrett Pick.
Garrett Pick and Baker, are still battling out here on the top of the field. I mean, Steve, I just want to bring this up too. If you bump one of these trucks a little too far on the right side, you're going to spin the trucker out in front of you, and you want to hit them center to center left, because if you send it center left, you can make sure that truck is plain on the ground and you go take off. But soon on the right side, you're going to upset that truck. You shoot them straight to the outside wall, and unfortunately, it's going to affect a lot of drivers. As we see right now, we got Brandon Holder. I like his hat, hometown rep. Brandon Holder right now is pushing the 44 of Garrett Pick right now. You see at the back door of Brandon Holder to the back of the field. Everyone is still 2 by 2. No problem so far. so far pretty good. We got the 5 leading the pack right now.
The 5 on the outside now. Look at Holder giving a push to Pick as they go into turn number 1. These drivers did a good job so far, caution free the first 6 laps. We're on lap number 7 as we're looking at the fan cam as they come down that back straightaway. They are still 2 by 2. I mean, you got to give it up for these drivers running 2 by 2 for many of laps and not making a mistake, that's for sure. But look at the 44 now. Garrett Pick now starting to inch away. The 5 of Holder in his hip pocket as they come out of turn number 4. Down the tri-oval there.
The 44 of Garrett Pick will retain the lead right there over the 5 of Matthew Baker. The Brandon 38 machine, or the 5 machine on screen of Brandon Holder, he's a really good super speedway racer. I've watched him last season in the Cup Series and then this year also in the Truck Series. So he's a very well-accomplished speedway racer. So he knows what he's exactly doing, pushing at the right spots, letting off at the right spots. He knows what he's doing, as he gave right there the 44 of Garrett Pick in the lead. As we're still 2 wide, almost 10 rows back. You start seeing some guys in the back of the field start single filing out. That's their plan. They've been talking about it. I have my teammates right now are in this race, and they were telling me earlier that they're going to try to hang back, wait for the wrecks to happen, and then make their way forward. As you see right now, we still have a 2 wide battle for the lead right now. We got the 44 of Garrett Pick battling with the 5 of Matthew Baker. Matthew Baker does take the bottom line right now, heading in turn number 1.
Baker, race leader, Pick in second. Then you have the 7 of Doug Newbegin on the outside. Directly behind him, looks like the 29. That's CJ Mason there. They are dancing all over the place, getting squirmy coming down this back straightaway. Garrett Pick in second. But look at Brandon Holder now on the outside. And that's the black and green machine. That's Brandon Holder getting pushed by Doug Newbegin there. The 77. That is, let's see here, the 77 is that Garrett Pick? No.
77, Landon Huffman, no? 44 is Garrett Pick, 77 is Landon Huffman.
I guess, no, the 70, see, the numbers do not match time and scoring. I'm going to say that's Cedric Hunter in that 5th position, and I believe that is the 77 machine.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's really hard to differentiate what numbers they are with. There's not matching time and scoring, so it's kind of frustrating. Not gonna lie to you.
Well, definitely. As look, the pair of 5s are now side by side. Matthew Baker on the inside. He inches forward out of turn number 4 there, down the tri-oval. Look at Holder battle back on the outside.
Yeah, that outside got an amazing run coming off of turn 3 and 4 down that straightaway into the tri-oval. It's like the 5 of Brandon Holder is going to maybe clear the 5 of Matthew Baker heading in turn number 1 as they're battling 2 wide, 10 rows back. You got the 5 deuces on the front row, holding back the rest of the line. They're riding their brakes, holding that line, make sure they get the push on the backstretch, Steve. And looks like we got the 7 of Doug Newbegin pushing the outside driver of Brandon Holder to the lead right now. We got Matthew Baker, Doug Newbegin, Garrett Pick, CJ Mason, Cedric Connor, Ian Martin, Ed Osborne, Keith Hackney, and your top and running 10th right now, Jason Atkins. So that's your top 10 right there. As you see on screen right now, we got the 30 or the 5 of Brandon Holder has dropped below to the bottom line to hitch on to the other 5 of Matthew Baker to take the lead here, Steve.
Well, pair of 5s, they make 10 as they cross the start-finish line. So far, we're 11 green flag laps. We're on lap number 12. As Brandon Holder is now your race leader, top 3 are single file. Then you got Cedric Hunter in the 77 battling with Doug Newbegin to his outside. Then you have the 42 of Ed Osborne and CJ Mason to his outside. We're still 2 by 2 racing. You look a little further back, there is Keith Hackney currently in 9th, Tony Iverson in 12th. Then you have Justin Sluter in 15th, RS Centers currently now in 15th. Braxton Deweese, BJ Duvall in 17th. Bowen, Clemens, and Lee round out your top 10 or 20 as Holder continues to lead at the line.
As we see right now, Brandon Holder, Matthew Baker, and Garrett Pick are starting to separate themselves from the field, and they do not want to get so far out where they lose the draft themselves. They want to be able to stick with the fourth, fifth, and fifth driver. And it's still like they're getting single filed out, but we're too wide, fourth and fifth on back for about 10 rows too. So these drivers are getting a little more racy than I like to see right now, but they're starting to get it figured out. That's like the bottom line will have the momentum right now over the top line because the bottom line does have more drivers on the inside. And usually if they have more drivers or more trucks or cars, whatever they're racing that night in the line on the super speedway, then that's where the momentum is going to be. As we see right now, the 5 of Brandon Holder, the 5 of Matthew Baker right now are about 4 deep, single filed out all the way to 5th and 6th right now with the 42 of Ed Osborne and it's like the 7 of Doug Newbigging are battling out for 5th and 6th, Steve.
Definitely, it's your top 5 start to pull away. There's single file. Doug Newbiggin has fallen back to that 6th position on the outside line, getting pushed there by CJ Mason in the 21 machine. Then you have the 98. That's Ian Martin, and then Keith Hackney directly behind him. Now you got to wonder, Bryce, when do they start taking their first pit stop?
So did some research, and they can go about 15 to 19 laps here. So within the next 2 or 3 laps, we'll start seeing pit road open up, and you're going to see people come down and make green flag pit stops here. I don't expect people to take tires. I don't expect people to take fuel. And remember, there's no stage tonight as we do on a normal league night. So there's no stage tonight. So you're running this out from green to checkered. So you're coming down, getting no tires, coming down and getting fuel, and get back on the track and try to go back up to the main pack.
Well, you look at this field. Look at the end. The back of the pack. There's single file out. It's really the middle pack that's double file. And you got to think they want to start. Oh, we got one little cross-side there.
That's a great save.
Definitely that was. And you got to think, since pit stops are coming up, you got to wonder, these drivers on the outside, they're going to be making some defensive moves to get into the inside to make their pit stops. They're making friends now. They haven't already before the race. Making some pit stop friends to come down pit road and exit with. So they get up to speed a little bit quicker. As we're on lap number 16 of 100, somebody's going to be $1,000 richer tonight.
Absolutely, Steve. So racing will just come over and remind these drivers to call out their pit stalls because you can't. And in the real world, you'll be able to stick your hand out the window and have your spotter in real life tell the other spotters that, hey, I'm coming on pit road. And if usually teams, you'll see. So what you'll see tonight, Steve, is you'll see teams come down pit road. So you'll definitely be able to figure out what drivers are with which team. So in real life, you would see the Hendrick cars come down pit road together, along with all the Chevys. You see Ford and Penske's come down with all the rest of the Fords. Joe Gibbs and Toyota and 2311, they all come down together and stick with manufacturers. But on iRacing, that's not really a thing. So you have teams. You're in practice, and you're in here trying to make friends. You're trying to figure out, okay, I can draft with this guy. I cannot draft with that guy. So you're trying to figure out if they're coming down, I'm coming down. That's kind of usually the mindset I have when I'm doing super speedway racing. So looking forward to see how many drivers come down pit road at a time. So
definitely, you can't be. You're saying it's not like Big Brother where you just fake it until you make it. Lots of your friends.
Right. if you don't come down pit road with other vehicles, as we got the leaders right now of Matthew Baker coming down pit road, if you come down pit road by yourself, you will lose the draft. After we got, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers coming down pit road as well, Steve.
CJ Mason now your leader in the 21 machine. Ian Martin now in second. Matthew Katina there in third. RJ Sinners in fourth. And then you have Keith Hackney in the 69, currently in fifth. He's battling with RJ Sinners, or RS Sinners. Look at BJ Duvall up to sixth. Good job for BJ. He's trying to bring us home a paycheck tonight, isn't he?
Hope he splits it 3 ways.
Right. I mean, he could.
Right.
I mean, fair is fair. So
this is one of the most dangerous spots or dangerous speedways to do green flag pit stops because you're coming down out of turn 4 almost 200 miles an hour. As we have almost double-digit cars coming down pit road, and it's really hard to come down pit road. You're coming from max speed down to 65 miles an hour, that's pit road speed. So you're coming from 200 down to 65 in a matter of 1,000 yards. So That's harden your brakes. Your wheels, you'll start wheel hopping. You'll get loose. You'll spin out. But as long as you keep it straight and as long as you keep your truck safe and grounded, you'll be in pit road just fine. But as we here, you see that one truck up there kind of by himself. He's lost the draft. So now he's by himself. So he's going to get swallowed up and unfortunately go a lap down right here and get tagged on the back of this draft right here.
Well, Tony Iverson is your new race leader. That's 72. Then you got Zach Nichols into 25. Then RS Centers, BJ Duvall, and Jonathan Atkins, your top 5. As you look, there's second, third, fourth, fifth, another slew of drivers coming down pit road. They don't want to get into each other. Oh, the 110 sideways in his pit stall. That is, I believe,
that's going to be
RS Centers. That's huge. But Tony Iverson is your race leader as we come down the back straightaway. 80 to go next time. Bye.
It is really unfortunate for Tony Iverson, too, because it looks like he has yet to come down pit road, and he is going to be by himself. So it's like that's an unfortunate mistake for Tony Iverson to not come down pit road along with everyone else, because if you're stuck out by yourself here on a super speedway, Talladega, Daytona, heck, even the new Atlanta, you will go a lap down, unfortunately.
And you see those drivers coming back onto the race's surface.
You can see how fast they're coming around, especially in their pack, how fast they're coming around the guys off pit road.
Look at the 04, Matt Lee, now your race leader. The 5 of Matthew Baker is second, Holden in third. Then you have Braxton DeWeese in 5th. Actually, Braxton at the line will be scored in 4th. Then Matthew Katina will be 5th once they cross the start-finish line. As they're coming down the tri-oval, Matthew Lee will resume your race lead. Look at Tony Iverson now coming out pit road all by himself. I mean, I just don't know.
Yeah, that's a questionable decision by Tony Iverson there, but hopefully he can get it all figured out and get back on the lead lap to finish this racing competition, because that's a highly unfortunate mistake to come down pit road by himself. But as you see here, we got the outside of, can we tell who that is? The Matthew Quintana coming out the outside of the leaders right here. Don't know if this is for position or not. It looks like it is. He's riding for 3rd place. We got behind him, we got the 69 of Keith Hackney as well. So we're having some battling out for the lead here, Steve, and we'll see how this goes.
As they go down the tri-oval, look, I mean, you got to think 4 trucks are better than 2.
Absolutely.
I mean, you would hope, but I mean, stranger things have happened.
Right. I mean, the 2x2 tandems does help sometimes, but not when there's maybe if it was your 2-car tandem and you have 4 like they are now, maybe that will help, maybe not, especially if that number 8 truck falls back and loses the 5. But if you're too wide and you have 11 trucks behind you, as look, you might have caught up now, you're going to get freight trained.
Matthew Katina on the outside, Keith Hackney giving him the push. Then you have Matt Lee getting pushed by Matthew Baker as they come to the start-finish line. At the line, give it to Matt Lee, leading lap number 22. As they're side by side, the 318, that's Matthew Katina there in the 318, being pushed by Keith Hackney. Your front group here doing really well. Now let's talk about this. Your big mover so far is the 44. That is of Garrett Pick up. Oh, I lied. There he is. I clicked the wrong one. He moved. So it's Zach Nichols in the 25 machine up 26 spots. The next biggest mover is the 85 of BJ Duvall. He's in that 12th position, up 22 spots there. Look at him go, trying to make a payday today. But your top 3 right now, single filed out with Matt Lee, Matthew Baker, and Brendan Holder, your top 3. There's Matthew Katina battling back out on the high side with the 69 of Keith Hackney. And then you have the Braxton DeWeese currently running in 6th.
Steve, I'm currently watching my track map here, and it looks like we have 3 different groups, 3 different packs going on right now. It looks like this is the second biggest pack right here. There's another pack behind this one that's actually catching this big one by like a second a lap. So these cars behind him are flying. So there's 3 packs on the ground. There's one right now coming down the tri-oval, as you see on the screen right now. There's another one coming out of turn 4 right now. One of them's on the back stretch. So it's hot right now. That's difference of 3 laps right there. So one lap, all of them went together. Another lap, another one all went together. So you're seeing different strategies right now.
Definitely. You know, right now, the 8 machine. Let's see who that is. The 8 machine on the inside. I believe that's Jonathan Atkins, I believe, in the 8. Scoring has him as 36. If it is, he did have a little bit of connection issue there a couple laps ago. We got to keep our eye on it as he's running up front.
Nothing is scarier if you're in a pack like this at Daytona, Talladega, and out of the New Atlanta and see someone blinking in front of you. It is the most nerve-wracking thing ever.
Well, I'll take that back. That was Braxton DeWeese that had a connection issue moments ago.
Gotcha. But either way, if you're still blinking in a Super Speedway race, it's white knuckles to everyone around you because you disappear and you can reappear in someone else's car if they took your spot. So, I mean, it's happened to me before. So I get nervous when people are blinking around me.
Definitely.
I know you don't do much at asphalt, but it's kind of nerve wracking. I don't know how it is on dirt.
Oh, dirt can be nerve wracking, that's for sure. As you're aboard with Jonathan Atkins. One's on board.
So we have a second line forming here with the lead pack right now. Looks like we got the Braxton DeWeese on his outside, followed by Aaron Martin, Brandon Zimmerman, and Zach Nichols on the outside right there, battling with the lead right now. But man, it's like they're not going to be able to get the momentum right now. The bottom line is still way too strong, way too formed up. You got the 69 and the 18th, 318. 318 coming down. Matthew Katana to attach back up to the bottom line to push that bottom line out furthermore, Steve.
Well, Matt Lee continues to lead. Matthew Baker, Brandon Holder, your top 3. You have the 48, Brandon DeWeese, Keith Hackney in the 69. There's lap cars in between here. Let's see here real quick. Looking at the battle box. That's going to show you the lap cars. You got Robbie Richards, that's currently the 48th, sitting 4th in line there. And you got Damian Kiefer and PJ Literal. Then you got Keith Hackney. So all these lap cars playing some part of this.
Oh, absolutely. They're waiting for a mistake in the pack right now. They're waiting for a mistake with the leaders, get their last back. They're fighting for the lead lap right now. So even though they're a lap down right now, Steve, they are helping with the leaders right now with the draft, saving the leaders' fuel. They're actually helping. So as long as they don't cause a mistake and wreck a lead lap car, I see no problem with the lead lap, one lap down drivers coming into the pack and helping us out.
Definitely makes it really interesting as you look at that 24 on the outside. I believe that is PJ Literal to the outside in that 24 machine, getting pushed by the 8 of Braxton DeWeese there. 24 trying to get his lap back the hard way on this outside as Lee continues to lead as they come out of turn number 4 down the tri-oval. This is exciting. So far, caution-free. 29 laps in the books here at Daytona. You're watching the Bluegrass Truck Series.
As I was watching right there, the 04 of Matt Lee right now was side by side with the lap car, and I was getting a little nervous right there. The 24 was getting a little squirmy right there, and I didn't want to take out the leader right there, but they're able to get it all figured out. The 24 dives down right along in that bottom line. These are the 5 of Brandon Holder and the 48. Well, it's not 48 on time and scoring. Behind Brandon Holder right now. I think it's Keith Hackney or Jonathan Atkins right now are behind Brandon Holder right now. So the bottom line now is starting to form. The 24 jumps back up to the outside. Don't know exactly what the 24 is wanting to do right here. He's a lap down. Remember that this is not for position. The leaders are Matt Lee, Matthew Baker in the 5, and the 59 of Braxton DeWeese. So he's that would be the 8. So that is your race leaders right now. The 24 is a lap down, so he is not racing for position. As you see on the screen right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is your stint length. We got Lee at 13 laps, Baker at 13, and Katana at 12, and Atkins at 11. So you're seeing three different strategies right there, and those 2 lap different on fuel can be dividends to the end of this race.
That's right. So we're coming on. I mean, in the next 4 laps, we're expecting to see Lee come down pit road.
Yeah, they're about to open up their pit window here. So remember, lap 15 to 19 is their pit window here. So they're about to open it back up, come down pit road, get another splash of fuel. They might take tires here because they've already been on. They're running on for 32 laps. So some of them might get tires here, some of them might not. And there's not really going to be a speed difference between old tires and new tires here, Steve. So they're going to – it's ultimately a setup call on what they want to do. People are right now talking to the crew chiefs, their teammates, trying to figure out what exactly the plan is here. I always knew we always didn't do tires on green flag piss-ups and precautions. So it's really cool to see what these strategies are going to be.
Definitely. As we're on lap number 32, Matt Lee continues to lead. And look at the lap car in the center there. 3 wide. That got to be nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah, especially if you're in that middle car. That lap car right now, he has to be shaking in his boots because a lap car in 3 wide traffic is not a smart move. It's still 70 laps to go. So I bet he is wanting to be in that bottom line right now. He knows he has to pit soon, too, so he has to find a way to get in that bottom line, and this bottom line is not letting him in.
Definitely it's not Keith Hackney right there. You see him, I mean, get kind of defensive. Look at him squirreling all down the back straightaway.
Maybe you can really start seeing these drivers starting to make their way. Start thinking of coming down pit road right here because you start seeing these drivers start diving back down to that bottom line. One of the most infinite rules you cannot do in a super speedway race is come down pit road from that top line. I've seen it happen. There's always a wreck. So come down to the bottom line. Come down pit road from the top line. Please, for the love of God, be smart.
Well, you look right now, Lee is on lap number 16. The last time he pitted, he ran a 17-lap green flag stint. Let's see if he pits this next time by, or does he go a couple of laps more on the truck. Lee, Baker, DeWeese, Holder, and Hackney, your top 5 here at Daytona. You're watching the Bluegrass Truck Series live on Ultimate Dirt TV. Keith Hackney being very patient on the top line as he has that lap car, the 24, in front of him. And let's look here. We go to Hackney. That looks like it's PJ Literal in front of him.
Here, Steve. Oh, so I was going to tell you this. Did you know that you can run half throttle and still maintain in the draft?
Well, many moons ago, like I said, like in 1908, yeah, I used to be able to do that.
Yes, that's what a lot of these drivers are doing right now, especially if you're toward the middle or the back of the pack right now. You can drive, you can start riding half throttle, and you can still be up there at max speed along with these guys. So the cars right now burning the most fuel right now are Matt Lee, Matthew Baker, and Braxton DeWeese. Those are your drivers now that are burning the most fuel. The other guys behind them are starting to save. They're able to run these tracks 3/4 throttle, half throttle at times. They're able to let off at times, go all the way out of the throttle and come back in. They're able to save more than Matt Lee that has to be wide open to the floor because he's actually creating what a draft is, ladies and gentlemen, is it's a tunnel of air. So the front driver is basically, have you heard of a freight train? So fans call drafting freight trains because the front driver pushes the air and creates a tunnel. And all those drivers behind him aren't getting affected by that front air. So they're able to save fuel, and they're able to extend their runs longer, Steve.
Definitely good running right now for Matt Lee, who has led round about over 15 laps, and he pulls down pit road. Your race leader coming down pit road, Matthew Baker, Braxton Deweese, Brandon Holder all coming down pit road. They got some dancing partners. And now, look at Keith Hackney, your new race leader. He's getting pushed by the 48. I believe that's Robbie Richards there. In second place is Matthew Cantina. And then you got Jonathan Atkins in third, Ian Martin in fourth, and Landon Huffman, your top five, as they come down the back straightaway. Now, you got to wonder, since the other five have already made it down pit road, what's their strategy? So they're going to stay out a little bit longer, or are they going to pit this time? Only time can tell as they go into turn number 3. Hackney, he went a little wide there. He's no harm, no foul. That's a good thing. But as they come out of turn number 4, Hackney brings the field, or that lead group, down pit road.
And that 54 came in from the top liner there. Don't know if he sped, or 53. Don't know if he sped or not. So it's going to be crucial to watch what the 53 did there. But he got really close to that speed limit as we got the 77 sideways on pit road.
Landon Huffman now backing up to his pit stall as contact was made. Now Jonathan Atkins in that 17 machine, currently running second.
We got Justin Atkins, Doug Newbigging, BJ Duvall, and Tony Iverson, and Justin Winters in your top 5 right now. Maybe all these drivers right now, I'm slowly starting to listen to all these drivers coming down pit road right now. As we got one car coming up pit road and by himself, not a great move, but he has to do it if he's out of fuel. So we got the 48-17 and Keith Hackney right there in the, I believe, in the 69 right there, riding 1, 2, and 3. In a pack. As we got the leaders right now, we got one car around on pit road. The 9 of Winners is around on pit road. Don't know if he was able to make it in his box to go ghost or not. So it's like he has no damage. So it's a big break for the 9.
Big break for him as you look at Jonathan Atkins is your race leader, Doug Newbiggin, and BJ Duvall. Your top 3. There's Tony Iverson in 4th, and then you got Zach Nichols, Cedric Hunter, and Adam Lancaster. Jonathan Atkins coming out of the turn. He will stay on track. Let's take a look at your pit strategy. Let's look here. Atkins, he went 19 laps his last pit stop. He's on lap number 20. You got to be wondering, is it time for him to pit now?
Oh, he's coming down this next, has to be this time or the next time after this. He's also was able to save with him being in the back of that earlier pack. He was able to save a little bit more than what the leaders were able to because he was able to be in the back there and not have to deal with air. So he was actually able to save a little bit, so they might be getting rewarded here for saving.
Hello, Brent Wheeler. He's new here. How are you doing, sir? He's like, what's Ultimate Dirt TV? Oh, that's the thing I own. I forgot about that thing. As you look at the race leader, Jonathan Atkins making his way down pit road along with Robbie Richards in the 48 machine. There is your second place, Matt Lee, being pushed by Matthew Baker as they go into turn number 3. That's second and third. There's Braxton Deweese in 4th. Ian Martin, Keith Hackney. Brandon Holder, Doug Newbiggin, Zach Nichols, BJ Duvall, Josh Clemens, Garrett Pick. There is Atkins coming out pit road.
There's a chance, Steve, if he can get up to speed and get behind someone and stay in the draft. As I say, that did not happen. So good thing he changed before I said my words. I'm going to bite him later on. But we got Matt Lee, Matthew Baker, Braxton Deweese. This is after pit stops, ladies and gentlemen. So we got Matt Lee, Matthew Baker, Braxton Deweese, Ian Martin, Keith Hackney, Brandon Holder, Jonathan Atkins, Doug Newbigging, Zach Nichols, BJ Duvall, rounding out your top 10 after your green flag pit stops.
Your top 5 in the payout positions. At the end of the night, the winner will pick up $1,000. As they come out of turn number 4, down the tri-oval, your lead pack here, single file. They're going to keep it calm as we complete lap number 41 of 100. Into turn number 1, still single file. Let's look a little further back. There's Jonathan Atkins. He's in that 7th spot. There's Doug Newbiggin. Right there, he's currently running in 8th. being pushed by the 41 of Zach Nichols. And then you have BJ Duvall, Josh Clemens, Garrett Pick, Landon Huffman, Jaden Kurtika, Tony Iverson.
You got caution on the Speedway, Steve.
All right. Well, not all right, but, you know.
Right. I got you.
Let's just see here. I'm not too sure because the time and scoring is not picking up a wreck. And there's the caution out. Not too sure.
I did send you something on in chat. If you can read that for me, I appreciate it. While we're waiting for these cars to come down pit road and get the service.
All right, Matt Lee, your race leader, Matthew Baker, Braxton Deweese, Ian Martin, and Keith Hackney, your top 5. Did not catch what brought out the yellow. As drivers basically get their first break of the night. The leaders are coming down pit road. Matt Lee bringing us down.
I expect everyone right here to get 4 fresh tires, top off on fuel, and they still will not be able to make it to the end of this race here, Steve. So they know they have to come back pit road, so they're going to fill it up, get 4 fresh tires, and just coast the rest of this race, especially until the next green flag stop. There's still a lot of race to run. We're not even halfway yet.
Well, Matt Lee was first off of pit road, then Matthew Baker, Ian Martin, Braxton Deweese, and Keith Hackney. But people who stayed out, let's see.
So we'll see a lot of fuel onlys here. So I'm really curious to see what the reasoning is, why they wouldn't come out for tires on a caution. But if track position is track position, so I can't deny him on that.
Well, Jonathan Atkins stays out. So does Tony Iverson. They did not come down pit road. Corey Stahl fans, he's currently running 26 in the 66 truck. Right ahead of him is Scott Fritz, Justin Winters, Cedric Hunter, Brandon Zimmerman, Landon Huffman, and Josh Clemens. But Jonathan Atkins, your race leader.
He's running a great race right now, up 12 positions. We got Tony Iverson up 13, Matt Lee up 19, and it's like Zach Nichols is up 22. He is the front runner for the Hard Charger Award. That means the person who passes the most vehicles this evening outside the money. So we got a couple guys. Was it Jason Mans is now outside the money, up 23 positions. So he's right now. Jonathan Mans. Jason Mans is like he's the top runner now for the Hard Charger. So,
all right, lights are out on the pace vehicle. Atkins will restart on the inside. Iverson to the outside. Row number 2 be Matt Lee and Matthew Baker. Then you got Ian Martin and Braxton Deweese. Then you have Keith Hackney and Brent Holder. Row number 4, Jason Mains and Ed Osborne. And row number 5, Doug Dubigan and Eddie Hawk. And row number 6. Row number 7 be Jaden Kritika and Brian Mayville. As they come down the back straightaway here, Barney the iRacing flagman getting ready to wave that green flag for the second time tonight. In this main event, $1,000 going to the winner. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow night. there's a bonus for these drivers if they race the dirt, the super late models. There's a bonus they can pick up if they win.
Yes, it is, Steve, and it's a good bonus, I would say.
Yeah,
Pays the bill.
or two.
Yeah. So what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen, is if the winner tonight goes and races tomorrow night's dirt money race, and he wins that race also, goes 2 for 2, he gets an extra $250 on top of the already $2,000 he has won. So, man, it's a lot of money on the line the next 2 days.
Definitely it is. Barney, the iRacing flagman, he's waving that green flag up and down. Look at him go. We're back to racing here at Daytona. Good start for Jonathan Atkins on the inside line, getting pushed by the 04 Matt Lee. Tony Iverson battling back on the outside as they go to turn number 1. 2x2 racing all throughout this pack right now. As we come out turn number 2, right now Jonathan Atkins edging over Tony Iverson. Iverson getting pushed by Matt Lee there in the 5 machine. Or I'm sorry, Matthew Baker in the 5 machine. Matt Lee's in the 04. Pushing. Oh, we got trouble down the back straightaway. Corey Stahl involved.
Man, this is what happens when you bunch up a lot of trucks at once coming down fighting for one position. As we back it up here. As we see, it looks like who is the outside truck or the inside truck right there came up to the outside groove, tried to fit in, was not clear, clipped one of the outside truck drivers, came down and got into an accident. So trying to figure out who exactly was involved.
Well, the 6'6" Corey Stahl on the outside there. Let's see. This starts right in between there.
Oh, he gets a run, tries to force it 3 wide.
The 44.
The 44 did, yes, correct. And then got into the 66 and causes mayhem.
That was Garrett Pick that caused it to go 3 wide. And around goes the 66 of Corey Stahl. The 40 went off-roading there. Oh, the 77 of Landon Huffman. Hard impact to the 66 machine of Corey Stahl.
Right. The 77 right there, I don't know if he was on the brakes or trying to dodge it, but hit that grass, and he was long for the right at that point. But man, it's disappointing for the 66, man. He was looking forward to fighting for that $600, or that $600, the $1,000 prize pool tonight. We have drivers coming down pit road right now, and it looks like people just gonna get tire or some fuel and get back on the road. So I'm looking at pit time. And we get a couple drivers coming down getting tires. We have a 14.7 stop. We have 16.07 stop. So people right now are coming in, getting service, and get back on this racetrack.
All right. Here's your pop quiz.
Okay.
Say that name for me.
Put me on the spot, huh? Jaden
Crow. Touchy.
Say it again.
Crow. Touchy.
Crow Tetchy?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Thank you for figuring that out for me. I
didn't figure it out. I didn't figure it out. Just thanks for Steven putting that on there. Still don't know how you come up with that. I don't ask. I just go, right?
Okay. Tell us how to pronounce the 55 machine of Trevor Ains. ASWARNAUTH.
Ainsworth? Asworth? I don't know.
Trevor, if you're listening, we're not trying to teach you about your last name. We're trying to figure it out, my friend. So, I agree, James Silvers.
What?
he was on the radio saying he's having fun and he wants to keep doing this and do it again. So, I'm like, I agree, James Silvers.
That's right. This time we'll use your $1,000.
Man, I kind of wish I was in this race and BJ was racing dirt tomorrow. But you know what? It's a challenge, and I'm all for challenges.
Well, you know, BJ might be racing with you tomorrow night.
Oh, is he?
Maybe. He's going to try.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's going to try?
He's going to try.
Interesting.
Well, lights are back off, and it's Tony Iverson, your race leader. Jonathan Atkins to his outside. You got Matt Lee and Matthew Baker, road number 2, as they head down the back straightaway. Pro touchy. I don't know. I try my best. I really do. I think it's about part of my southern.
So the next, southern draw
just doesn't work. You know, like La Bourgeois. You know, I mean, the name just don't look right.
It also took me forever to learn Chris's name too. So I kept messing it up the first season I was in this league too. So don't feel too bad. Him and Gary, I could never figure out their last names.
Right. I like the drivers that have 2 first names.
Yeah. Or like me that has 3 first names. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, the pace car looking to pull off into pit road there. Tony Iverson bringing the field back to the green. He's on the loud pedal. We're back to racing. As we complete lap number 59, next time by will be halfway down, halfway to go. Jonathan Atkins with a good run. Going into turn number 1 there. He'll pull it down to the inside. The 04 Matt Lee, he stays out. And he has the 5 of Matthew Baker in his hip pocket. Going to give him a push out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Good racing for up front. Now Matt Lee's back to the lead with the push from Baker. The inside line starting to close back in. There is Atkins to the inside. Lee shuts the door on him as they go into turn number 3. The 17 of Atkins now giving the push to Lee as they come out turn number 4 down the front straightaway into the tri-oval. Look at Baker now to the outside, getting pushed by Braxton DeWeese. Good job for them as they're 2x2 at the line.
You got Matt Lee and Matthew Baker battling 2x2. They are 2x2, 11 to 12 rows back. Man, they are battling side by side, knuckles, white knuckles everywhere on this track right now. The 5 is right now is pushing by himself. He's going to try to clear it down to the bottom line, and he does by inches. And the bottom line now will have the momentum. The 04 and the 5 are now Tatum drafting down the backstretch. The 17 right behind them. We got the 8 of Braxton DeWeese on the outside behind him. We got the 30 of Jason Mans. They're pushing, try to come back out on the outside. Right now, we got the 5 and the 04 of Matt Lee starting to put a 2-gap lead on that top row here, Steve. So that top row is going to have to get some moving to get back up to the leaders.
Well, they got to put some potion in their motion to get back up there. I mean, look at it. The 30, give it a good push to the 8 of Braxton DeWeese. Jason Mans there in that 30 machine. That's a nice looking vehicle.
Oh, absolutely. That reminds me of a pedigree car.
Yeah. And then you have Doug Newbig in there in the 3rd car on the outside as they're trying to close up the gap with your race leader of Matthew Baker, Matt Lee in 2nd, Braxton DeWeese in 3rd. As we look a little further back, Keith Hackney currently running in 10th. Then you have BJ Duvall currently in 11th. Ed Osborne in 12th. Eddie Hawk in 13th. Trevor Ainsworth in 15th. R.S. Sinners, after the pit road incident, he's back up to 14th position. Then you have Scott Fritz in 16th. Adam Lancaster battling with Cedric Hunter. Good racing throughout the field. Still 2x2. Justin Winter fans, I mean, he's right there in 24th position.
Yeah, he's slowly working his way back up to the field right now, Steve. As battle for the lead is still continuing right now with the 5 of Matthew Baker and the 04 of Matt Lee, the 8 of Braxton DeWeese. So they are starting to battle out right now. The 4 and the 5 can't decide what line they want to block. The 5 on the up top will have the momentum coming off of turn number 3 and 4, as that they will be able to stay on that bottom line. And the 5 will still continue to lead here with 54 out of 100 laps complete.
Well, you just missed it. Ian Martin made a move to the inside. The truck got a little squirrely there. In the 98 machine, currently running. In the 8th position, Ian Martin. As we're still 2x2. These trucks are a little dancy, but that's okay, as they're keeping it straight. As Matthew Baker look at DeWeese battling on the outside, trying to close the gap, getting the push by Jason Manns there. Jonathan Atkins in 17th, the third truck on the inside lane as they come out turn number 4, down the front straightaway to the tri-oval.
Yeah, we got Matthew Baker right now retaining the lead with 55 out of 100 laps complete. As we have Matt Lee, Braxton DeWeese, Jonathan Atkins, Jason Manns, Doug Newbiggie, Tony Iverson, Brandon Holder, Ian Martin, BJ Duvall, rounding out your top 10. They are 2 wide, almost 12 rows back here, Steve. The 5 right now is all by him lonesome. They are 2 wide behind him. He has to decide what line he has to block. The upside, the lone right now will have the momentum. The 04 is pushing him further and further away from that top line. The worst thing you can do as a leader right now get that mind game played on you on what line it has to block, because you move up one lane, the bottom lane comes down. The 4 takes a peek on the outside. It's like he changed his mind. It comes right back down to that bottom line here. So that's very interesting to see. These drivers, they also might be getting a little hot. So what I mean by hot is the air on these cars. They're, in a draft, they're not getting the air to their radiator, so they're overheating. So if you see a car poke out like that and swoop back in, usually means he's getting hot and he has to swoop out and get that air to cool that engine off, or he'll blow up and cause a huge wreck, especially if you're up front.
Definitely, as you see him coming out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Your top 2 single file. Then you got Atkins, and to his outside is DeWeese. DeWeese trying to get back up there as they go into turn number 3, pulls alongside Lee. Baker continues to lead in the 5 machine as we're on lap number 56. So let's pull this thing back up here. So they're on this pit strategy right now. The drivers are on lap number 12. If you look at the first 2, they went anywhere from 17 to 20 laps in the first stint and 19 to 21 in the second stint. So we got a little ways to go here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still way too early to tell when they're coming down pit road. If they have 12 laps complete, they're about 3 laps away from the window opening back up. That's if they didn't come down pit road earlier. So lap 43. So they're all should be coming down pit road here in a moment's notice, anytime now. We're now getting times where the money stops are going to start happening. So even though we're still relatively halfway, people are going to start wanting to push a little bit more on pit road, try entering a little bit more quicker on pit road, trying to pull off pit road a little bit more quicker to gain that track position. Because as you can see right now, Steve, it's very hard to pass. As we got exchanged for the lead right now, they got the 30 of BJ? No, Jason Manns. Jason Manns now takes the lead on the outside. We got the 7 of Doug Newbiggie on the outside. We got Braxton DeWeese on the inside behind Jason Manns coming down the backstretch.
Good side-by-side racing. Look at Doug Newbiggie on outside, trying to close the gap, getting the push by the 85 of BJ Duvall. But Jason Manns, your race leader.
Jason Manns cannot afford to pull away that much right now. He pulls out too far, he's going to be a sitting duck for the people on the outside. He might have a third lane for one right there about halfway through the field. Looks like he might have pulled it back in, which is a smart move on his part. It's way too early to be pushing these trucks 3 wide. It gets really hairy on Daytona National Speedway when they're 3 wide. But as right now, we got a battle for the lead. We got the 88 almost. We got trouble on the back on the turn on 2. We got the 56 in the wall. We got the purple machine of Ryan Center also around and into the wall. Heavy damage on the front end of that machine.
Oh. The 40, the 53 involved. The 53, I believe that's Damian Kiefer.
Oh, 17, so close.
So here you go. The 40 right in front. The 53 and Damian Kiefer there. Gets in. Let's see here. Barely gets into the 40. Send the 40 down track. That's Justin right out. Both those drivers into the outside wall. The 77 has nowhere to go.
Neither does the 9 of Justin Winters. He's just a random bystander. Got clipped with a 77. That's horrible for the 9 machine and his fans.
All right.
Yep. These drivers, they're going to come down pit road, and they're probably going to get tires and fuel here. They're at their fuel window, so they're going to try to come down and get tires and fuel here.
All right, now sent you something.
Sent me something. Could it be? Gotcha. As we see right now, the pace car is still out on the track, single filed out, and waiting to see these leaders come down pit road. And it looks like they are coming down. So we got Jason Mans, Braxton DeWeese, Doug Newbigging, Matthew Baker, Matt Lee, BJ Duvall, Ryan Center, Scott Fritz, CJ Brown, or Bowen, Tony Iverson, Adam Lancaster. Oh, they're all shaking up on my screen now. Well, let's say everyone on the lead left should come down pit road, get 4 fresh sets of tires and fuel, and get back on this racetrack. It's a big track position race right now. You want to be up front. We're now heading we are at 40 laps to go here. So these drivers they want all the track positions they can get. The battle for second place off pit road. It's like it might have been won by the 7 of Doug Newbigging. And so I'm looking all the time to get everyone's just took fuel only. So everyone, they have 15 to 19 laps to this stop. So that puts them roughly right around 75 to 80 laps on fuel until lap 75 to lap 80 on fuel. So if they hit that, they have relatively one more short stop. Unless more cautions come out, they'll be able to have at least maybe one more stop in this race.
All right. So Jason Mans, Doug Newbiggin, Matthew Baker, Matt Lee, and Scott Fritz, your top 5. Then you got Matt Quick, BJ Duvall, Raymond Rittner, Brenton Holder, Tony Iverson in 11th, Bowen in 12th, Hackney, Atkins, Louise, your top 15.
As you wait for these drivers to hit that 1 to green, they are just riding around right now, saving fuel. So how they save fuel under caution here, ladies and gentlemen, is they will put the clutch down and literally shut the engine off. A lot of these drivers in their sim rigs, they have button boxes that allow them to turn the engine on and off while they're able to keep the car rolling. As long as it's in neutral or they have the clutch pushed down and shut the ignition switch off, they can turn the switch back on and they can dump the clutch and restart the engine. So NASCAR, real life, they do that. On iRacing, they allow us to do that, which is a really cool, immersive feature that iRacing has. So that's what all these drivers are wanting to do if they want to save fuel. As the pace car lights are out, waiting for the field to come down the backstretch. We got Doug Newbigging in first place. Justin Mans is in first. Look, he chose the inside line. Doug Newbigging on his outside. Matt Lee starting third, and Matthew Baker starting fourth. Into the apex. I like that scheme, Steve.
Yes.
We are now starting and slowly but surely starting to get into that crunch time, Steve. So these cars in the back are going to start to want to push their way forward because even though it says, we're, 38 laps left, that 38 laps goes by quick. So, excuse me, they're going to start wanting to push themselves here.
Definitely pace car looking to the inside. Jason Mans bringing us back to the green flag. Green flag is waving here at Daytona. Mans on the inside there. Look at the Doug Newbegin on the outside getting pushed by Matt Lee. Doug Newbegin to the lead going into turn number 1. But now you're going to see Mans battle back on the inside as he's getting pushed by Matthew Baker in the fight machine. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Look at BJ Duvall trying to make it in the payday slot. He has to finish in the top 5. Doug Newbegin inching away down the back straightaway, but here comes Man on the inside. Into turn number 3, Doug Newbegin on the outside. That 7 machine. Here comes Man on the inside. Man will inch away on the bottom out of turn number 4. Side by side down the straightaway into the dog leg or tri-oval. Get the line, give it to Doug Newbegin.
Doug Newbegin takes the lead away from the 30 of Jason Mans, heading down the front stretch, heading into turn number 1. Gets about, they're still door to door, 2 wide, all the way to about 12 rows back. So the 30 inches away, heading into the back stretch right now. We got the 5 in tow of Matthew Baker behind him. We got Doug Newbegin taking the lead again on the top side. We got the 04 of Matt Lee pushing him. So these drivers right now, they're going to start getting bumper to bumper, wheels on wheels, elbows up driving. So here we go. We got the outside line starting to have the momentum coming down the turn 3 and 4. The inside line, may have something to say about that. Takes the line away. We got squirrely going on. We got one coming down the inside line. Clothesline, maybe contact right there coming from Matt Lee heading down to the bottom line right there. Like everyone's able to get it shape and back up straight.
So this is the question for you. When do the drivers start getting some right side romance going on?
They're going to start getting it any time now. These backfield drivers, they're going to start wanting to make their way back up. They're going to start making more aggressive moves, as we saw right there. And it could happen any time. But usually they start happening around 10 to 15 laps to go. So when they hit about 10 to go, people will really start pushing themselves and what they're looking to do.
Well, look at Doug. He's fallen back along with BJ Duvall in his hip pocket there. They have to work their way back to the front. There's the 17 of Jonathan Atkins trying to join the crowd on the outside line, see if they can make a move. But right now, your top 6 are single file as Jason Mans, Matthew Baker, Matt Lee. Your top 3 are as Sitters and Scott Fritz and Tony Iverson. Your top 6.
Yeah, if I'm Doug Newbegin right now, I want to get down to that bottom line. You can obviously see the bottom line does have the momentum right now, and you do not want to get stuck on that outside. As you even saw in the last lap, they are starting to fall back into this pack. They also need help on that outside line as well if they want to get back two by two up front. If they don't get help, the bottom line is going to swallow them up, and they're going to ship back even farther. So they need help on the outside line. The bottom line right now, they are fine. And look at 17 of James Silver's coming down pit road as well, but he looks like he is in the back of the field, so no worries there. And we got the 30 of Jason Mann still retaining the lead, top four about single fouled out. As we got the 10 trying to go the outside, and he does. He's clear on the outside, so not only the top three are single fouled out, and the outside lane might have the momentum here coming down the backstretch because the 4th and 5th position. Oh, we got squiggling in the back. Huge checkups, and everyone's able to get clear. And that allows the top 3 to scoot away here.
Well, RS Centers on the outside line getting pushed by Keith Hackney, trying to make some moves here. As we're coming down to the closing stages, as Jason Mans continues to lead Matthew Baker and Matt Lee, your top 3. Centers on the outside, closing the gap on Matt Lee as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Look at the 69. He's going to leave Centers hanging. That's the tri-oval. Sitters on the outside. Keith Hackney currently sitting in that 5th position. Directly in front of him is 0-1 of Scott Fritz. Then you have Tony Iverson and BJ Duvall. Your top 7. As you see some drivers coming off of pit road, trying to blend back in with the drivers, trying to give some space, some room. Mans continues to lead here. on lap number 68. There's Scott.
And I know
Go ahead.
when it's a scary sight, we can see two cars coming off pit road, and they get back on the track around the entrance of turn 3. I've been in that situation before, Steve, and it is very nerve-wracking because you are gaining speed as you're heading in turn 3, and you can't go to that flat track and go immediately up into that 31-degree banking and expect to be safe and sound. So good job on those lap cars to get back up in the field. Good job for the actual field to allow those cars to come up in the field and back. So as we see right now, the bottom line is starting to single file out and get the momentum on the outside. They're trying to get started here, but it doesn't look like that's the case as we got one jumping up the high line, trying to get that line started back up. The bottom line does have the numbers, will have the momentum. Even though the top line is starting to hold its ground, it's not necessarily falling back anymore. It's not gaining, it's just holding its line. So the people, for that top line to go forward, they need to have help, Steve.
They got to have help. And, with 30 laps to go next time by, if they haven't picked a dancing partner, they need to now. That's for sure. And, we got to talk about it. Right now, they're on lap number 9. So we know in right about 10 laps, we're going to have pit stops. One more set of pit stops before the end of this race.
Yeah, that throws the caution we just had threw a big wrench in this race because you would pit relatively around 80 to go or 20 to go, lap 80 around 20 to go, and your pit window is 15 to 19 laps. So you had to find a way to save a lap of fuel, and not counting if we have a green white checkered or not.
Well, look at Keith Hackney made his way up to the 3rd spot, making that outside line work. Keith Hackney now pulls alongside Baker. The outside line is formed, and they're coming in a hurry as they come out of the turn down the back straightaway. Look at this. They're getting dancy. You got some trucks and Wampus Caddy down there.
Wampus Caddy. I like that term. We get a 69 shuffled out. Three wide right now. The 40 is really squiggly right now, heading in turn 3. The 69 is stuck on the outside. He's going to get freight trained by that middle groove. That is, he had an amazing moment right there. He saved it and was able to get that truck. He only lost about 10, 11, or maybe even more than that now. But he's able to get that truck back straight away. Kept it clean. Now he's back in the draft and the back of the pack. It's unfortunate for Keith Hackney, but I'd rather have that happen than him in the garage getting repairs.
Definitely. Now look at Baker looking to the outside, making a move on man. 3 wide for second. Bowen on the outside with the 40 giving him a push. You want to talk about some action. It's going up front. The 17. Oh, the 17's in the wall. Caution out on a speedway.
It's only a matter of time, Steve. It only was a matter of time.
Matter of time. And you know what? Let's look at this. Let's hide this. Show this. We're still going to need another pit stop after this pit stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah. Especially now. Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Rewind it back to Bryce, let you know what all went on. RS Center is giving the push. Bowen, they get tangled up. Bowen goes out into the outside wall, bounces up there. And this is on from there.
Yep, that is one of maybe few big ones this evening. And as you saw right there, Steve, that's what I was talking about earlier. When you get on that right side, it gets really the truck upset, and it just shoots you straight to the wall. So there's the example I was talking about earlier. And also, that is not a good place to push, is in the middle of the turns. Those trucks are already unsettled enough. They're already loose going into the turn. And getting pushed like that, especially on the right side, is exactly what we just saw here. So he gets a little squirmy already heading into turn 3. And as he tries to get back up, and he gets pushed right there on the right side quarter panel on the back bumper. And he gets pushed one more time, and around he goes. As we're looking on the back window right now, he's up, yep, and away he goes into the wall, back down on the track, collects multiple fast trucks, and man, that's a tough break for him.
Look at the 5 machine. Tough luck for him. Brandon Holder in the 5, getting him caught up in that.
And I did get confirmation through one of my pit road people, and they did say that they do have to pit 2 more times. So that's going to be interesting to see, especially on that last pit stop. If it's under green, that's going to be a money stop. Even if it's under caution, it's going to be a money stop. So basically, it's a lot of pressure on these car drivers coming in and out on pit road.
So
I would say Cruz.
So what you're saying, somebody is in Vegas playing poker for this 1,000 to win. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. The odds are against them. Can they win? Right now, Matthew Baker, your race leader.
I expect these drivers to come down pit road here next couple laps to come down and just get fuel only here. It's like they actually might be staying out here, Steve. So they're probably trying to save your fuel right now. And there's some drivers coming down pit road, but you're 1 to green. The drivers right now probably come down getting topped off of fuel because you are 1 to green. So that's probably what they're all doing: come down and getting topped off of fuel, and then be able to stretch out the next run here longer than a lot of other people who haven't came down pit road this caution.
Well, Matthew Baker will bring us back to the green flag. Matt Lee to the outside. Row number 2 be Jason Mans and Doug Newbiggin. Then you got Scott Fritz and Jonathan Atkins. Then you have BJ Duvall and Zach Nichols. Brandon Zimmerman and Tony Iverson. Then you got Keith Hackney and Brian Maville. Michael Lockwood and Matthew in 14th. As the lights are off on the pace car, down the back straightaway. You want excitement? That's what you're having right here with the Bluegrass Truck Series 1,000 to win here at Daytona.
Absolutely. These drivers are looking for an extra little paycheck here after the 4th of July weekend. So a lot of people burnt money on fireworks, and they can get their money back tonight, Steve.
That's right. Someone going to go out here with a big bang.
I like your play on words.
Yeah. The pace car looking to make that hard left-hand turn. The field's in the hands of Matthew Baker. Barney, the iRacing flagman's looking him over, fixing to wave that green flag. Green flag is back out. We're racing here at Daytona with 25 laps to go. Good start there for Matt Lee on the outside, getting pushed by Doug. Going into turn number 1, Matt Lee on the outside. Right now, he's inching away from Matthew Baker on the inside. He's really tucked in there on the outside line. They're tight. Coming out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Matt Lee, your race leader in the 0-4. Look at Doug now on the outside battling. As Lee moves to the inside, as they go into turn number 3, they're side by side. Can Doug do anything with Matt Lee? Lee's been strong all night, so has Baker. As they come out turn number 4, down the tri-oval here, with 24 laps to go.
As we got Matt Lee in front of the 7 of Doug Newbigging. These drivers right now, they know how much laps are left. There's 24 laps left. They know they have to start making moves, especially if you're in the back of the pack. And I don't expect these drivers to come down. They're not going to get single thought out. They're going to want to race now. It's time to go. And I'm here for it. I don't know about you are, Steve, but I'm ready to see these drivers really get elbow to elbow and get at it.
Well, before the season opener, there was a muddy race, and it was a barn banger of a finish, that was for sure. I expect the same here tonight.
Oh yeah, with the racing I'm seeing there, it's going to be a very, very fun end of this race. These drivers, they know how to drive these trucks. You know what they're looking for, and they'll take advantage of any chance they'll get.
As Matt Lee and Doug are still side by side, they go into turn number 1. Then you got Matthew Baker on the inside. Then you got Jonathan Atkins in the 17 on the outside. Jason Mann in the 30. He's the third truck on the inside. And then you have Zach Nichols in the 41. He's the third truck on the outside. These drivers keeping it steady. 23 laps to go.
Got 23 laps to go right now. We got the 04 of Matt Lee pulling about a truck advantage on the outside of the 7 machine of Doug Newbigging. Matthew Baker right now is doing a heck of a job pushing the 04 of Matt Lee to the lead right now. We got the 30 machine of Justin Maines behind him as well. Doug Newbigging on the outside. There's only 4 trucks on the outside line. The bottom line will have the advantage right now heading into turn number 1.
Well, I'm looking for a big payday out of somebody, and they are currently sitting in 10th. He's kept it clean all night, BJ has. I mean,
don't pull your curse here now.
I'm not going to pull my curse.
You said his name.
But I do want money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you want to be paid too. We're going to say he has to pay us. We just don't tell Jason he paid us, okay?
Right.
As they come out, turn number 4. Right now, Matt Lee is your race leader on the inside, being pushed by Matthew Baker. Doug Newbigging and Jonathan Atkins. Atkins in the hip pocket of Newbigging. Give them a good push as they go into turn number 1. They're side by side into turn number 1. Matt Lee will inch them as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Matt Lee looking really strong right here with 21 laps to go.
Got 21 laps to go. This race is slowly coming down to the end right here. As we still got the 04 still out front here. We got the 5 behind him. We got the 7 of Doug Newbigging. But man, these drivers still, the top line still has no help. I keep reiterating it because it's so, I don't know how to really explain it, to be honest with you. It's so crucial to have help here, Steve. If you don't have help, the bottom line, you don't have help, no momentum, you drop places. So I keep reiterating it as the 7 here starts. He's battling for third place with the 30 of Jason Mans is what I'm talking about. Now the 30 is now catching up. So, man, it's just hard. The top line needs help.
Definitely. If you haven't made your partner, you're going to be a sitting duck as they're passing some cars on the inside. Lee, Baker, Mans, your top 3. Doug Newbigging, Scott Fritz, Atkins, Hackney, Nichols, and Duvall, and Iverson, your top 10. 20 laps to go as they come out of turn number 4 down the tri-oval. 19 to go. Now you look at this. Doug Newbigging, he's kind of stalled out there on the outside. Him and Jonathan Atkins, they need the outside line to tighten up a little bit so they can advance forward.
But we got trouble, Steve. The 72's around. He tried to clear himself down to the bottom line and got turned. That was highly unfortunate. Is it 72 or 78? It's a 7 number.
72 of Tony Iverson.
Oh, it's tough luck for the 72 of Tony Iverson. Like, he's also, what's the word I'm looking for? He's stuck. There's the easy word.
Oh, he came down. Looked like on BJ there. There's Iverson on the outside. BJ Duvall on the inside.
He tried to clear himself, and unfortunately was not clear. Depending on how much BJ damage has on his truck, he might be okay. He might not be able to lead until the final lap, but he might be okay to stay in the draft.
As you look at BJ, that truck is all. Now he has damage on the right-hand side. Tough luck there for BJ Duvall and Tony Iverson.
Yeah, just nothing this BJ could do right there. Now, they're lap 83. And if they come down pit road now, trying to think if they can make it or not. I want to say yes. That puts them at 17 laps to go. And I believe they come down pit road, top off of fuel. Man, it's hard to figure out because they didn't run this tank out. You know what I mean? So it's going to be close. I think they're going to be able to make it, but it's going to be relatively close.
Well, all the drivers, lead lap drivers, make it down pit road. There's man on the outside. Matthew Baker first off pit road. There's Doug Newbegin. Jason Mans, your top three. Jonathan Atkins, Raymond Rittner. And then you got Scott Fritz, Matt Quick, and Zach Nichols. Matt Lee will come off 10th or 9th. You got Ian Martin. Round out your top 10. There's BJ Duvall making his way back out, currently in that 16th position. There you see the damage. As you look on the end card there on the right-hand side, and a little bit on the left-hand side in the hood, a little crinkly.
Yeah, he'll be fine in the draft. Let's know about if he gets up in front of somebody. Like if he's in like the front of the pack, if he's leading the race, he might hold up the line because his truck front end is basically like a parachute right now. But if he's in the middle of the pack or in the pack itself, he'll be just fine and make your move on that final lap coming out of turn 4.
Definitely.
I did get confirmation that these drivers will be able to make it on fuel. However,
what about green, white, checker, green, white, checker, green, white, checker?
That was just getting to my point there, Steve. If you have green, white, checkered, you're pushing it even closer. Right now, they can make it to the end of the set lap amount, lap 100. If we go extend lap 100, go past it, green, white, checkers, or what, it can get really hairy really fast.
And that's something you don't want to happen.
Absolutely not. If I'm leading, I don't want another caution. I don't want another green, white, checkered. I want to finish this race out under green flag conditions. I want to end this race wide open, heading in that turn 4 final run. I don't want to end this race under green, white, checkered conditions.
Well, if you say it's going to get hairy, right side romance is going to be given.
Oh, yeah. We're now at the point of the race. You're 15 laps to go. It's time. If you're in the back of the race and you're still holding back, you're running out of time very fast. So if some people might even wait till 10 to go. I think 10 to go is even still too late to start making moves. But, I mean, you can go – the funny part is about Super Speedway here, Steve, is you can go from 20th in one lap, beginning of one lap, and be 5th the next lap after. It's there's no really set anything like that. It's Super Speedway is so unpredictable, and it's honestly one of my favorite styles of racing. So it's just the unpredictability of it.
Well, the lights are out. We're going to go greet out turn number 4. Matthew Baker, Doug Newbegin on your row number 1. 2 be Jason Mans and Jonathan Atkins. As they come out of turn number 4 down to the tri-oval, the pace car makes a hard left-hand turn. Matthew Baker, the field is in your hands. Green flag is out. Good start there for Matthew. Doug Newbegin on the outside there, getting pushed by Jonathan Atkins. They go into turn number 1. Now Doug Newbegin pulls alongside him. Man giving the push to Baker. They're side by side out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Look at these drivers closing up the gap there. This is fixing to get antsy. Keith Hackney, the third truck on the outside. Scott Fritz, the third truck to the inside.
As the field heads into turn 3 and 4, the 5 machine of Matthew Baker still retains the lead over the 7 machine of Doug Newbigging. The 30 of Jason Manns up 28 positions is currently riding in that second position. As we had a truck right now trying to take it 3 wide through the trial. We'll try and figure out who that is. That is the 17 on his truck. That's who?
Jonathan Atkins.
Jonathan Hackins. He's trying to make it 3 wide. It's a 3 wide right now for about 6 through 9th. We got the 8 machine of Braxton DeWeese. He's back up single file. We get the top line starting to work its way back up. They're starting to figure themselves back out. The 04 jumped back up there. The 7 of Doug Newbigging is up there as well. The bottom line starting to close in. Here comes that top line heading into turn number 3, Steve.
Into turn number 3, the top line is formed. They're tight. They're trying to get on up there. Matt Lee leading the top line. He was strong all throughout this race. So is Matthew Baker. Give it to Lee. Coming down the tri-oval. Baker looking back on the inside. Lee would lead that lap. 13 laps to go. Lee getting pushed by Doug Newbigging there. Baker getting pushed by 30 of Manns. Good racing up front. There's Keith Hackney in that 5th position. The 3rd truck on the outside. As the inside line starting losing a little bit of ground there. They need to get it tightened back up. Here comes the 01. Then you see the 8 of DeWeese, Braxton DeWeese there.
Exactly right, Steve. The bottom line does need to button back up. That top line right now does have the momentum. And you'll see that run coming off here to the front stretch. That 04 will stretch out his nose and take the lead here. And with 12 laps to go right here, Matt Lee takes the lead over the 5 of Matthew Baker.
Well, he says he's trying to stretch out his nose. You called him Pinocchio. Side-by-side racing. 12 laps to go. Anybody's race. Will the big one happen? Only time can tell. As these drivers are getting antsy, Bryce. They're getting antsy. They can feel the $1,000 burning a hole in their pocket.
Oh, absolutely. And you can tell these drivers definitely know what's coming. You can tell some of them want to be aggressive. Some of them are trying to be smart. It's now the time to where it's not necessarily make risky moves. It's time to make calculated, smart moves. It's still about, we're 10 to go or 11 to go right now. So smart, calculated moves. Now when it's 7 to 8 to go, that's when the risks start. And through the trends that I've known through like our league race here in Bluegrass, through real life, most cautions, the big one usually happens with 10 laps to go. As we got problems right there. We got one in the wall, the 41's in the wall in the backstretch. Don't know if everyone's able to get it figured out. And we got one coming back on the track right now. Everyone got single filed out. We are good to roll. We got 4 trucks on the outside. We get the 5 to regaining the lead. Matthew Baker regains the lead from the 04 of Matt Lee.
Matt Lee trying to rally the troops on the outside, get them tight as they coming through the tri-oval. Baker will lead at the line barely. Lee on the outside, Baker on the inside. 10 laps to go. Here at Daytona, someone's going to be $1,000 richer. You're watching the Bluegrass iRacing Series live on Ultimate Dirt TV. Make sure to hit that like and follow button, share out the broadcast. As the regular series is off this week, so they put up some good buddy racing. As look at these drivers, they're antsy. They're scooting back and forth. It looks like a snake out there.
We got, it's going to be close. That bottom line is going to have to move up and try to dodge the lap car of the 72 of Tony Iverson. That is a very evasive move. We're still 3 wide through the tri-oval here. It's like everyone was able to get it all figured out. We got the 5 battling the 04 of Matt Lee heading into turn number 1. The 30 of Jason Manns is currently in that 3rd position, and currently pushing the 5 of Matthew Baker halfway between turn 1 and 2. On the outside, we got the 7 of Doug Newbigging fighting on that outside group here, Steve.
Remember, your top 5 will receive a paycheck tonight. These drivers giving it their all. There's BJ Duvall. He definitely has some damage as he's currently in 21st position all by his lonesome.
Yep, that's highly unfortunate for him, BJ.
As we're coming to 8 laps to go, Baker continues to lead on the inside line. Matt Lee again pushed by Doug Newbegin. On the outside line, you have Keith Hackney and Jonathan Atkins. You see Brandon Holder in a black and green number 5. He has damage on his vehicle. He's up there. These drivers, look at them get squirrely down the back straightaway.
Oh, yeah, these drivers, they're pushing, they're shoving. We're 3 wide at some spots in this track. We got one truck on the outside right now trying to make that move, trying to make that high line work. That middle line is gonna have some momentum. That 69 truck of Keith Hackney is slowly going to work his way back through the field and has to get settled back in the back of the line in that middle groove. That was a fortunate try. He tried, but ultimately didn't have the help to go with that 3 wide.
Coming at the line, 7 to go for Matthew Baker. The lead to his outside. Good racing. 2 by 2. In turns 1 and 2 here. The outside line is formed really tight. The inside line is really tight. Look at Lee starting to inch away on outside. Jason Mann pushing as hard as he can on the inside of Baker.
So I've been getting really squirming right there. Heading into turn number 3. Again, he is tapping that 04 on the right side of that truck. He has to be very careful not turn the 4 and cause another big one.
These drivers giving it everything they got. At the line, give it to Lee on the outside. Baker pulls along back on the inside. They're not giving an inch, that's for sure. Will the big one happen? Bryce? It could, couldn't it?
Oh, it could very well happen. It can happen anytime. It can happen on the last lap, or it can happen right now. The 69's in the wall right now. Keith Hackney is in the wall. Don't know if anyone's able to keep a straight. 69's right in the wall. It's a good job on him. That's unfortunate for Keith Hackney. And it looks like everyone is able to get straightened back out, and we're still green up here, Steve.
Still green. Coming to the butt kicker, 5 to go.
Now, these are where the moves start happening. People start taking stuff 3 wide, and you'll start seeing people take risky moves, risky blocks. Here's where the fun starts, Steve.
Definitely. 5 laps to go. These drivers are antsy. They know the top 5 get a payday, but they know the winner gets $1,000 out of the turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
The 04 of Matt Lee starts to pull away a little bit right here. The 5's going to catch him back up in turn 3 and 4. The 5 of Matthew Baker has been up front all night long. So let's see if the 5 of Matthew Baker is able to pull this win out. We got 4 laps to go at the line, Steve.
4 laps to go. It's anybody's race. Will Doug Newbegin roll the dice? Or will he play it safe? Or will Jason Manns? I mean, either or can throw the dice. You never know.
Oh, absolutely. You can. It's all about gambling at this point. I mean, you've put in. We're going on almost 3.5 hours. You've put in a heat race, qualifying. It's $1,000. Why not risk it? I mean, you're risking it for more than your paycheck a week. So go for it. Race for it. There's no holding back at this point, Steve.
Hell, go 4 wide. Make it really interesting at the finish line.
Absolutely.
You're like, no, Steven, no.
If I was in this race for, $1,000, it's
possible.
Balls to the wall. It's time to move. Absolutely.
The palms are sweaty in these drivers' hands as they're touching that steering wheel. Try to keep it as straight as possible. Still side by side. Down the long back straightaway. Look at Matt Lee inching ahead over Matthew Baker. Lap car, the 17 on the outside there. Into turn number 3. Baker pulls to the lead as Lee falls back a tad bit. Lee getting pushed by the 7 Newbegin out of turn number 4. Your Roasted Gems coffee. 2 laps to go. 3 wide.
And with 3 wide for third place, a 17 has taken the middle groove down with him. The outside truck, I believe that is Matt Lee, or the 7 truck. Who is that? Of course, scoring is all whack right now. But he's down in the middle of the groove, now back of the pack. He is good where he is at. We are now 2 by 2. We got a huge run, and that middle groove has a huge line right now. That 04 of Matt Lee is now pushing ahead of the 5 of Matthew Baker, coming to 1 to go. One more lap for $1,000 here, Steve. That's for 3 wide for about 6 for 6th place right now. 1 to go.
You're 1 to go. Here we go. Side by side. 3 wide for 6th. Going in it. Huh?
This is where the mind games start.
This is, as Matthew Baker, your race leader, coming out of turn number 2. The 4, is he holding back a little bit? That's Matt Lee. He gets a run on the outside. They're side by side. It's a dogfight down the back straightaway. Oh, we got one heavy to wall. That's Scott Fritz.
Keep it green. Keep
and
going.
We stay green. Matthew Baker.
The leaders cannot get detached here.
Oh!
The 5. The 5 just opened. The 5 just won the race right there.
Matthew Baker coming down to pick up the win. Doug Newbegin will pick up 2nd. James Mann's 3rd. There is Matt Lee, currently scored in 4th with heavy damage. Jonathan Atkins in his hip pocket there.
Man, a lot happened right there on the last quarter lap there, Steve.
Definitely, it sure did. Give it up for Matthew Baker, coming home with $1,000. And let's take a look at the first wreck down the back straightaway. Three wide action, Scott Fritz. I forget who. It looks like the 5 was attached to the other truck. Comes down, collects Scott Fritz. Fritz heavy into the outside wall. There goes the 55 making contact. And there's the 8 of Nick Miles involved. Then let's look. The 17.
Tried to push the 04 and unfortunately turn on the right side. Too far on the left side this time here, Steve. And turned the 04 down into the 30, which opened the door up for the winner of the 5 machine of Matthew Baker to cross the finish line by himself. You don't normally see that on super speedways.
Well, you know what? He's probably happy as can be right now.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I would.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully that's going to be me tomorrow.
Hopefully so. Let's take a look at your results on the board here. Matthew Baker, Doug Newbegin, Jason Manns, Matt Lee, CJ Mason, Jonathan Atkins, Matthew Katina, Trevor Ainsworth, Braxton DeWeese, Michael Lockwood, Ian Martin, Scott Fritz, Ed Osborne, Nick Miles, Zach Nichols, Brendan Holder, Matt Quick, Raymond Rittner. 19th will be, let's see here, 19th will be Brandon Zimmerman, 20th, BJ Duvall. '21st be Tony Iverson, James Silvers, Keith Hackney 23rd, Eddie Hawk 24th, Cedric Hutter 25th, Brian Mavin, Mavel in 26th, Adam Lancaster 27th, R.S. Sinners will come home 28th, Jaden Crow Touchy there In 29th, Bowen in 30th. You got Justin Winters 31st, BJ Literal 32nd, Josh Clemens, Justin Rideout, Damian Kiefer 35th, Justin Sluter at 36th, Corey Stahl in 37th, Garrett Pick 38th.
And Steve, I hate to interrupt you there, but we got some late race breaking news. The 7 of Doug Newbigging has been disqualified for passing under the yellow on that final lap. So the top 3 are Matthew Baker, Jason Mans, and Matt Lee.
All right. Tough break there for Doug Newbigging. As we're fixing to have post-race interviews momentarily. All right. Trying to see here. So we're waiting for, there's Matthew Lee. All right, Bryce Hunter, you caught up with your third place finisher.
Matt Lee, this is Bryce and Steve up in the booth. How are you?
Good, you guys?
Good. Well, it's a long race and a long night, man. You finished third. You got the money. How do you feel?
It was a great night for the team, so we're feeling pretty good.
Tell me about your strategy tonight. Did you think you could be able to make it on fuel, or did you guys kind of think in the back of your mind?
We were definitely nervous as the race went on, and we realized that there was unlimited green white checkers at the end there. I mean, we had like 2.5 gallons to spare, but I mean, if we got the green white or the green white checkers like we did in the heat race, I mean, geez, we'd have been in a tough spot, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Who was your teammates tonight? Don't mind me asking.
Baker and Jason Mains.
Oh, okay. So the top 3. Very nice.
Yes,
very
sir.
Nice. So talk me through that final lap. What did you see? What did you feel? What went through your mind when you saw that wreck on the backstretch?
Well, when I saw the wreck in the backstretch, I saw that there was just like 4 or 5 of us. There's 4 of us in the pack, and then the 7 behind us, and it was like, okay, like it's gonna be kind of hard for one guy to beat 3 of us. And then when I got turned there, and I don't think Jonathan meant to. It's just he's pushed me hard there, trying to probably get a couple more spots himself. So it definitely, I think I was in the line to win. Especially where I took right side tires there on that last pit stop. Like I was able to get such a run up off the corner, and but it's racing.
It very, very well is. Well, congratulations on your third place finish tonight. You got the money. So, do you have any sponsors, family, friends you want to shout out tonight?
Yeah, big shout out to Jason and Baker on the great race. I mean, that's definitely a lot of fun. All the guys at martinsports906.com. Anyone look for sim racing gloves, jerseys, anything like that, check them out. You guys for putting on the broadcast, and Jason for putting on this race. A lot of fun.
Absolutely. We hope to see you again on our next money race. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your third place finisher, Matt Lee.
All righty, coming home in second tonight, Jason. Congratulations, sir, on your third place finish, or second place finish.
I greatly appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Up 28 spots and start of the race. You was patient. Patience pays off, and it was a rough last lap, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was definitely sketchy. I'm grateful that survived that. My teammate Baker, I wasn't going to leave him, and then my other teammate was on the outside, and my fear was when I saw him getting turned, he was going to hook me, so I just locked the brakes up to straighten the truck up. So yeah, you never know these races. Just like Collins just said, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield, and I say that all the time. I thought that was ironic, but yeah, it's just literally, you work together. There's a lot of guys I race with weekly, Eddie Hawks and stuff like that, and you have fun. I mean, that's what it'd be, and it was. I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. I can't hear, and I keep telling people this. My hearing's not the best in my right ear, so it's hard for me to focus with a bunch of talking and all that stuff. So I'm like, I told them, look, I'm going to ride in the back. We will play the numbers. If they wreck, I'll make up some spots on pit road. They wreck again, I'll eventually make it up to you. Do not screw your race up trying to protect me to get me up there. Y'all do you, and if I get there, when I get there, we'll hook up, and that's what we did.
You do you, or you all do you, or how do you say? How's that saying go? You do
I
you, and
said,
I do me. Normally, that's how some
I
people.
told them, y'all do you, and when I get there, then if I can make it up there, we'll make it happen. But it's kind of like this, if you make a mistake, whatever the reason is that you're in the back, you don't have your teammates sacrifice their upfront spots because you made a mistake. That just doesn't make sense. So just play it out. It's Daytona. It's Talladega races. It's plate racing. You just be patient, and it was. Also, there's a lot of good racing in there too, so that allows you to do some things and get back up there, and that's what we did.
Well, definitely, y'all had a good showing. I mean, y'all showed dominance throughout the race. I mean, watching some of the drivers, especially within, I would say, around about 13 to go, around about 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, they got really dicey there at certain times. I mean, Keith Hackney was running, I think, 6th at the time. He got into the outside wall after making a little bit of contact. So, I mean, y'all did a good job of keeping it clean all the way to the end.
Yeah, and that just comes down to experience. I mean, Keith, they all did a great job, and it's what I do. I don't care if it's in real life or sim. You got to have people that, one, communicate, and we do well. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, our communication's good, but sometimes I won't say it's heated, but we have to raise our voice to get the point across because we have different opinions. We have different thoughts on how things should go, but we work through that. And when you get to that third line up there, you got to have somebody that knows your style, where your truck's going to be, and you need a third truck. And you can't get greedy. I mean, it's like when Eddie and I like Eddie. I race with Eddie all the time. It's a good guy. And in practice, I try to practice with different people, so you never know you're going to be around in the race. And I didn't want to hang Eddie out. In the race, it cost me probably 4 spots. Was trying to stay with him, but we're running back in 17th, 18th spot. This is not for the win. You try to help each other. I tried to help. I forget Nichols when he pulled up. He just pulled up, and his momentum was like 10 miles an hour off. If I had pushed him, I would have wrecked him. So those are just situational. So when you get to the end of the race, like the long story, but you got to have 3 people that are good, that know each other and can work together because you're going to get hot. So it's just experience. And Baker and Lee and I, we race together every week. I think we ran Friday 2 races Friday night. We raced Saturday night. We ran Sunday night, and we ran tonight. So it's just experience working with each other. So which is good.
Well, go ahead and thank those fine sponsors making it all possible for you tonight.
Well, first, we got to thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's why we're here. We do everything for him. I want to thank Elliott Sadler Esports. I got to thank Bradley Mechanical, Into the Apex, ChevyLiners.com, Colleague Racing for helping my son Garrett out. A lot of thanks to them, and Elliott Sadler, obviously, on that. Lennox Industries. You guys for putting on a broadcast. My teammates, Matthew Baker, Max Brady, and Matthew Lee. And thank Jason Collins for putting the race on the broadcast. Great night. And like I said, hope everybody has a great week, and I appreciate it.
All right, coming home in second, Jason Mans.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Bryce. He's down in victory lane. What a run you did, young man.
Matthew Baker, this is Bryce up in the booth. How are you?
Hey, good. Doing really good.
Good. Hey, man, you're $1,000 richer. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have happened without Jason and Matt there that whole race. We pulled off a really good strategy. Just decided to take track position at all costs there with the unlimited green white checkers, and we got lucky there. But glad that I didn't get involved in that last wreck there at the turn 4. But definitely one of the biggest wins I've ever had.
Absolutely. Well, they say when it comes down to checkers flag, every man's for himself. Was that how you guys were coming to be if that didn't happen, or are you guys gonna stick with the team and let you win?
Yeah, I think Matt had the pace on the top lane. He was definitely going to have the run to the line, but Jay behind me was just pushing so good all night, especially those last 20 laps. I needed to take right sides, and he was making up for it by giving me such a good push. When they wrecked off at 2, I knew it was 2 by 2, so we kind of had it in the bag, and it's between us 3. It doesn't matter who wins. We're just here to have fun, and we love racing as a team together and pulling in big paydays like we did today.
Absolutely. So the money question is: are you going to go 2 for 2 tonight, racing dirt with us tomorrow, or are you going to?
Well, I guess I kind of have to now. I mean, I was waiting for one of the dirt guys to get lucky. I mean, I'm going to be, P30, but I'll come out there and run it.
Try
Hey,
to
I'll
get
be-
the bonus.
Hey, I'll be probably right there with you, running that right next to you. So I feel you on that one, bud. Hey, congratulations on your $1,000 payday today, and go ahead and thank those those fine sponsors for us this evening.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Just thanks to Coasting Thunder. Thanks to Baker and Son Construction, MBG Motorsports. Thanks to Jason and Matt there all night. Max didn't get to qualify through, but he's always run good with us. Thanks to Warriors Wraps. Really good paint on this car. Thanks to all the family watching back at home. Thanks to my fiance who watched me drive in circles. I don't know how she does it, especially since it's virtually. So I don't know why, but she does it. Thanks to Mom watching, and thanks to you guys putting on the broadcast. Jason putting together the event. Really good stuff you guys put together. Really good group of guys running there at the end there. A lot of hard racing, a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your $1,000 winner, the 5, Matthew Baker.
All right, so that's going to conclude our broadcast night here with Ultimate Dirt TV. Don't forget to tune in to tomorrow night. It's the Super Late Malls, 1,000 to win. And let me tell you, drivers are knocking on the door to pay that entry fee to enter in tomorrow night's race. It's going to be exciting, something you don't want to miss. Bryce, you're going to be in the car. You need to practice.
Yes, Coach.
He's going to try his best. Bryce Hunter tomorrow night driving. Do you even know your number?
39.
39. There you go.
That's my high school football number.
Really? So there. See, I brought you some good luck.
You can say that. I mean, I did get concussed really bad, but that's fine.
driving the 39, the Miller Family Trucking house car tomorrow night. Good luck to you on that. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
tune in for that. Set your alarms. Set your reminders. Make sure you hit that like and hit that follow button so you can catch us every time we're live this season here with the Bluegrass iRacing Series. Until tomorrow night, everybody, good night, God bless, and stay safe.